not a hero, he's a criminal. Shut up!
I'm gonna have to fix that sign. Hey everybody, how you doing? It's me, your buddy Admiral Teague. This is how we dress in New York in the wintertime. This is my stab-resistant leather jacket. These are my impenetrable, I don't fucking care if you think I'm looking at your body, sunglasses. And this is my high maintenance, very slick city hair. I want to thank everybody for being here, and I have a special guest, a friend of mine. He's going to come to help me, get through this afternoon's merriment. There's not a lot on the agenda today. I just wanted to say hi. Last night didn't work out. It was much more a better use of our time to get the whole Landman panel on the same page. We did some Landman watching, and now here he is, a friend of mine from across the globe. Really, if I start digging a hole in about 2,000 years, I'll get halfway there. Here he is. It's RRTNZ. Hey, buddy, what's up?
Hey, how are you? Hey, I just thought I'd come to say something I thought I'd never say. Which is praise for President Trump, because without his influence, the ceasefire in the Middle East would not have occurred. So, hats off to President Trump.
I have absolute hats off for his effort to try to do this, and I think that after 8,000 years, they might be almost done. However, I would say a word of caution to my friends. I've seen what these guys are capable of. I've seen the fire in the sky. I've lost friends to their promises, so I know just about how much we can trust them. So while I do praise our president for going all out to try to end this terrible, 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 terrible conflict between two people united by common DNA, we can only do so much if they are going to lie. Okay, we got this far a couple of times before. I do hope this works out, but it will not be our fault if it doesn't.
It's not the end, and it's not even the end of the beginning. But at least a bunch more people won't die today, right?
Maybe we would hope so.
We hope so. There's a ceasefire, and Israel pulling out troops. I don't want to make this political. I just thought it was an opportunity to say something positive about your president and.
Where I go every Sunday, they have an expression. Blessed are the peacemakers. So, you know what? Blessed are the peacemakers. And if they are moderate in their tone, the people who have signed this thing, then they shall be the meek and they shall inherit the earth. Is that not like the way the good book says it? I mean, I don't know. I go and I do my best.
I tell you what though, just hearing you say that, I rewatched Face Off last week. And there's a funeral at the end where there's a big gun battle, and Travolta comes in and goes, "Wee! Isn't this religious?" And that's what you sounded like there. That's what it reminded me of when you said "Blessed are the peacemakers." That was a Travolta entrance.
You know what? I guess Travolta also went to Catholic school. All I know is he went to high school in Brooklyn where he was in the special needs education program as a sweat hog with a bunch of other talented people that we didn't quite see ever again. But Travolta, he stayed with us through the years.
Oh, Mr. Carter! Mr. Carter!
My name is Freddie. Who's your favorite sweat hog? You're breaking up a little.
He's not.
Are you rotating away from the source?
It's the rotation of the Earth and the internet.
I know. It's
no. I am still. The internet is not great in New Zealand at the moment.
Well, I mean, I'll take it, and it's great to have you here because you're my pal. And let's see who else is here. We don't seem to have a huge crowd, but this was not expected. Nix is here, though. Nix, I want to thank you for coming over, making the trip. Hello to everybody who might have been watching my friends over with Northern English Bastard. I threw some passes their way to see if they want. I started a new group for the British people. It's called Cool Redcoats. That's what I'm calling. That's what I'm calling my group of British YouTube friends. They're my cool redcoat pals, and I had a blast with them yesterday. I don't think they were quite ready for the American sense of humor, were they?
Well, you can't have a group of called Cool Redcoats and not have somebody sing Men of Harlech while trying to fight a Zulu horde. You got to have that at
That
the same
or,
time.
well, I mean, being as how I'm Admiral Teague, wouldn't it be like, all the folks are a ship, mighty stars are a men, right? Like from Star Trek?
Oh, I suppose so.
The
Yeah, I
British
suppose it'd be.
Navy, the British
British
naval.
star is a soaring soul. Yeah, that one.
No, that one is from Pinafore.
That is.
The British naval theme, like their version, like in America we have Anchors Aweigh. The British song is called Heart of Oak. It's, let me see if I can just find it. I kind of remember how Picard sings it. It's one of those songs from the same era as our national anthem was inspired by. Like we got our national anthem from a British drinking song. This has the same kind of energy. It's Pinafore-esque, but a little cooler. And it's just let's see. This is the song. Remember when in Inner Light when they had a Picard doppelganger? And
I tell you
Picard
what,
doppelganger was
I am the
too social.
I am the one TNG fan who probably didn't get that much out of Inner Light. I'm probably the one TNG fan walking on the planet who doesn't say that Inner Light touched them in a special place. You know, it's a nice concept, well acted by Stewart. I know that we have. I think he's a great actor. If not, if in the words,
No,
I'm
I
going
think
to
he's a great
paraphrase.
actor. I think he's a
I'm going
terrible
to paraphrase.
person.
Yeah, I'm going to paraphrase William Shatner, who talked about Christopher. I asked him about this, and he said this about Christopher Plummer. He's known for being a great actor, if not for being a great guy. Yeah, but I mean, that which of course applies to Stewart as well.
You know what? He had big shoes to fill. They hadn't had a villain of his stature as far as his box office stature, and they hadn't had a villain who had been as effective. I mean, Christopher Lloyd does good as Krieg, but it's just not the same. In Inner Light, which is an episode I tend to agree with you on, here's my feeling. It was a great sci-fi concept. It was a great sci-fi concept. It was a fantastic performance. The thing is, like, I give it credit for this reason. You ready? They went out of their way to make a low-budget, money-saving version so that they could have a battle with the Borg, and they were able to make it that interesting. So was it the most exciting thing ever? Like, they're like, we got to, like really work hard to plumb the depths of our soul to give this one meaning. And you could see how hard the writing staff wrote to imbue that one with the kind of meaning that we get in Inner Light. But in Inner Light, they created Picard. I guess he's a replicant. Maybe he's a doppelganger. But he goes to 10 forward and he starts getting drunk, which the captain doesn't go to 10 forward. You meet him in his ready room and he'll have like replicate a beer for you. He doesn't even go to 10 forward to see Guinan. He fences with her, which good luck with that now. You could get on top of her and ride her to a joust. But this is the... Yeah, and this is the naval...
Her target surface increased.
Do you remember when her whole body was the size of her left leg? When she throws what was once her entire self on top of the right leg, and you're like, whoa, her leg is as thick as my body.
Poor old Whoopi. I put on weight as I got older too, so I'm not going to give her a hard time for that. So
we're not, you know what? I'm not trying to make fun of her look as far as it's like the unhealthy nature of it. Like, for instance, like you're a very wise and intelligent guy, so like whatever comes with your you are a very intelligent guy and you have good counsel. So if you started looking terrible and every time we saw you, you were sucking down an energy drink and eating like a freaking Zagnut bar, we would get on your case, and after a little while you'd be like, you know what, I won't be able to make the Chuck Norris jokes if I just keep eating chocolate all day, and you'll be fine. But like, you know, some people have no impulse control. But this is the naval theme that the Picard replicant sings. Here's the thing, it's synthahol, but maybe the alien is just like, so their alien society is no context. So when he goes and hangs out with the humans, he's too human. He's like, Come cheer up, my lads, it's to glory we steer, to add something more to this wonderful year. To honor we call as free men, not slaves, as who are free are the sons of the waves. Heart of oak are our ships, jolly tars are our men. We're always ready, steady, boys, steady. That's the song, and there's a New England
yeah, just ringing some bells now.
Yeah, there's a British version, there's a Canadian version, and I think there's a New Zealand and an Australian version because you have a common tradition. Whereas our naval song is called "Anchors Aweigh."
Hey, we're talking about Shakespearean actors at the moment. So I've been very blessed in my life to have seen. I've never seen Shatner do Shakespeare. In fact, that's what I asked him. I asked him if he would ever do Shakespeare again. Right? This is when I met him in 2011. And he said no. And that's when he referenced Chris Plummer, because of course they'd worked together at Stratford. But I tell you, the two great Shakespearean performances I've seen in my lifetime was in about 1990 something, early on. I saw Chris Plummer do Macbeth, which was mind blowing. And I've seen Ian McKellen Macbeth. Oh, sorry.
Oh my God, he's perfect for Macbeth.
The play about the Scottish King. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. I know that we're in America. We can't be affected by Macbeth. Besides, this is the most bad luck show of all time. I do this in spite of myself because I have a great well of self-loathing. By the way, guys, pinned to the top, you're gonna find my other channel. It's called Saving Star Trek, but it's called Space Patton. Okay,
is that a separate channel?
It's a separate channel, and here's what I think it's good for. I'm sorry, guys. Excuse me. I missed the communal viewing of Star Trek with my audience, and I love doing it with Germ. Sometimes Germ can't do it, so the Saving Star Trek channel is so I can host live views if I have the time. Sometimes all I have time to do is throw on the episode. This week we're gonna watch an episode for the second time. And you know what? You have commented on how like the weirdness can be fun, and maybe you could help me out and give me some counsel. And guys, if you could hit the like and follow, Admiral Teague needs all the likes and all the follows he can get, both on Admiral Teague and on Space Patton, where like, hey, we're up to 3 and nobody knew we were on. Germ, you have the option to come by if you want. I know that you've got that problem with your computer monitor. Germ, a great friend of mine. I love that guy.
Cartoon.
He's great with those, but I'm going to be honest. Until we met up through our friend Bird of Prey 5, God, rest in peace. We'll see him again in the Nexus. I didn't really have someone that I felt was a really natural fit as a co-host. And once Germ and I started working together, it really started to help me focus on it. He's always there to help out. He does an excellent job with the commentary. He's extremely knowledgeable. And my favorite thing is we only have like a 60% overlap. So while we essentially agree, there's enough to discuss about like our Superman take. I was like, it kind of sucks. And he's like, it's actually pretty good. I wouldn't call it great. So it was like, we weren't in different universes about it. And like, we're like, one of the things I love about this guy, grown adult, fully functioning ego, id, and superego executives, the decision making. He's like, why would I get mad at my friend because he likes the same movie as me in a slightly different way? So we could have these discussions where he never gets angry. And every once in a while, if you've noticed in the like almost 2.5 years I've been working with him, I've made him laugh like 6 times.
Yeah, it's a rare thing.
Goal. He's tough guy to crack, but I don't think that Admiral Teague was anywhere until I had my buddy Resolute Chirp. I really don't.
You haven't answered my question, or have you? I don't know.
Go for it.
So I was asking about great Shakespeare performances you've seen. So I had Plummer as Macbeth, and I saw Ian McKellen when he was down here doing King Lear with Sylvester McCoy, who was once Doctor Who, and that's how he got the job in The Hobbit. Because Peter Jackson was hosting them. So he did King Lear. And Ian McKellen, just for you ladies out there, hung like a horse. Unbelievable.
All right,
he got it all off on stage during King Lear. He got it all his kicked off. And my goodness, that man was blessed. He was impressive. But anyway, my question was, yourself, is there a particular Shakespeare performance? Because Shakespeare and Star Trek are
Like that I've
very,
seen live.
yeah.
Okay,
Live or
so
on TV or you thought about, because Shakespeare and Star Trek have very strong connections. So
all right.
what
So
if you had to
working
name a
in by
Shakespeare performance? What
working
would
by
you go
layers.
to?
My favorite performance is as the as one of the two principal characters in A Comedy of Errors, the first Shakespeare performance I ever saw, the first Shakespeare book I ever read. I would like to thank my English teacher for introducing it to me the right way, because at least that was, he's like, look, this is every sitcom, and he was right. And when I
Yes.
watched Comedy of Errors, I thought that the very best, he was better as the simpleton version of the character, but Roger Daltrey was one of the people who was
Really?
yes, and it was fantastic. Look for
Wow.
Roger Daltrey, Comedy of Errors, absolutely fantastic. He was a gifted actor, a gifted actor. No one could bite their thumb and say a
As a
right thing.
simpleton.
He was also good with in A Comedy of Errors. Here's the deal, guys. It's the Korskin brothers by Cheech and Chong. There are two sets of twins. They get intermixed. One twin is of royal blood. The other twin is not. But it gets confused in one version. So there are mirror images of themselves. We've seen this done in Danny Kaye movies. We've seen this done all over the place. And hello, Germ, and hello, Buddy, and hello, the Trek reviewer. Hello to all.
Hey,
I'm going to take
Haley
a look
Mills did
over
it
on Space Patton, too.
in The Parent Trap.
Whom?
Haley Mills, she did it in The Parent Trap.
That. You know what? That is true. Although we're only going like one for one. Like the true Comedy of Errors is you have two people. They're reversed in their roles and what it was is these guys are two merchants. And one guy, like the alpha guy in one group, is actually the submissive guy in the other one. The servant and let's play master and servant. That's the only way to explain it. So in A Comedy of Errors, these two individuals are together, and these two couplets of men, they're not together. They're a couplet of men. They're a duo. Like one is a merchant, one is the servant, and like two of them are local, two of them are visitors. The visitors get confused for the locals get confused for the visitors. The power dynamic is absolutely flip-flopped and different. And the more powerful character, the other actor definitely did better. But as the simpleton guy, like Roger Daltrey, played the fool quite well. And, I thought it was fantastic. That was the first Shakespeare I saw, so that's my favorite because of that. I would say live, the best Shakespeare I ever saw. I do not know the name of it, but in my high school and senior year, we did Othello, and it was one of the kids. I don't want to give away anyone's names, but maybe well known to some people now, considering that I am from South Jamaica. This person, we did like hip hop Othello. So basically, the iambic pentameter of Shakespeare did it really well. So the best play I ever saw was at Hillcrest High School in Jamaica in the 80s during the heyday of rap. And, it's not often that you get Othello and his guys jumping out to do Fight for Your Right to Party just to be a crowd pleaser in the middle of it. But that was the greatest Shakespearean performance I ever saw. Very different. Shakespeare with his Adidas. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. He threw down his Kangol in challenge and stuff like that. Fantastic reimagining. I don't know what happened to that guy. This kid, Rick Rubin, helped write it. I don't know whatever happened to him, but he deserves credit. That was great. And fantastic stuff to see. The most memorable, the best, got to be Ian McKellen as Hilter in Richard III with Iron Man and Mrs. Warren Beatty.
Yeah. Richard III is
really
good. I can't believe it doesn't get more play today. Given
it's too dark. It's
the
very dark.
Epism and Enism, words people throw around now.
We snuff some miners. I mean, they're deep inside mining for gold. That's what I mean by miners. We snuff there's a cave collapse. How about that for code talk? And isn't it sad that the YouTube euphemisms have to be used? But
Yeah.
How's my euphemism game?
Oh, pretty good. I think your euphemism game is pretty good. I sometimes get lost because there are particular American euphemisms you use that aren't necessarily always apparent. The British euphemisms
Yeah.
are a bit even denser than that. But I think your
Well, the good
euphemism game is
news is
pretty good.
The good news is I'm an Anglophile. If you've noticed,
All right.
YouTube has changed the name, changed the way I speak, and I especially think that Welsh part of the island is pretty interesting. So, like, if you've noticed, I've picked something up from Drinker. Instead of saying, "Hey, ain't that?" I go,
Hopefully not
"Would that?"
syphilis.
Well, you know what? I mean, he's a handsome and powerful man. He can make his propositions to me. No, I mean, no, not that. I'm sure not that. But no, I picked this one up from him. The way that we ask questions, we state it with a question mark at the end. That's how Americans say it. It's like, ain't that from this? And that's how I used to say, that's how I used to question people. But because of my exposure to worldwide culture and stuff like YouTube, YouTube, and I speak in YouTube now. I've picked up from Mauler and Drinker. I now say to you, I go, Cole Meany, do you not mean the actor from Deep Space Nine? You know what I mean? Instead of saying, hey, that's a better way to say it.
I don't know if it's better. It's a strange British thing. Do you not? Or that we put the negative at a strange location in the, it actually, which makes the sentence a little bit more obscure. Do you not think so? Or, do you not? That particular use of negatives in British jargon, I've always found a bit strange, but what can you say?
It's a self-contradicting double negative, isn't it? It's like, I remember, I think I first remember him hearing it used, like, I believe it was Drinker on the EFAP stream where they watched Rise of Skywalker, and I think if I remember correctly, they were talking about J.J. Abrams' script, and he goes, whoever the editor is he not out of his mind by now? Does anyone think he's not? And I'm like, wow, like, that's absolutely the different way than we would phrase it. However, it is interesting, and it kept me more engaged. So, like, I'm always looking for a different and more efficient way to say things. And I guess another person who had got me thinking in that direction is, I know you don't watch as much EFAP, but you ever hear Fringy talk about how, like, he communicates it efficiently and how he's trying to communicate more concisely?
I get them mixed up. Fringy's Australian.
He's the Australian guy.
I believe. Yeah, so I can't take anything he says seriously.
Well, I mean,
I can't take anything he says that seriously. I've known too many Australians. No, Australians are great. I've been to Australia a few times. Great place.
I would
definitely
love
worth
to go
visiting.
there. Well, I mean, I want to see where Tolkien got inspired, right?
I tell you what. I was in Queensland in 1998 for a trip, and it reminded me of going through the southern United States. All they needed were like shotgun racks and rebel flags in their pickup trucks, and a lot of those folks would have been Americans, and that I'm not saying that in a pejorative or a negative way, but just saying It was a neat place, and I liked it a lot. Although I made the mistake of jogging in the morning through a ditch, which the guy pulled off over quickly at the side of the road and screamed at me to get out of there. Because of course, poisonous snakes.
Oh God!
How stupid I was. He's like, get out of the ditch, Mike! Get out of the ditch! Are you out of your fucking mind? Get out of the ditch!
I'm buying exactly the same kind of boots that Landman wears because I figured those would be safe enough to wear in snake country. They're snakeskin boots from what I can tell, but I at least finally in I watched episodes 4, 5, 6, and 7 yesterday to get ready for a Landman show. Just to find out, like, the Landman panel's not quite totally synced up, and I have to, like, deepen my bench on that one. So we all got up to speed. We watched episode 4 together. We didn't go live. It was good bonding experience for the team, low stress hangouts that we don't get to do all the time. And, we stopped it every once in a while and had a few laughs. It turns out I was wrong about the coffee lady. I couldn't believe it when I was saying it, so it was bad info. It's like, how could she be 53? All right, the coffee lady is actually a social influencer who's like 30, and she looks it. She's really hot. Yeah, she's really hot.
I tell you, the breakout stars of that show are the kid, I think it's Jacob Loughran, who plays his son.
He's good.
So I remember him. Oh, I remember him from Justified.
And you know what he's got? You know what he's got going for him? He's a cool kind of ugly handsome. He's an uglier
Yeah,
version of
yeah.
Coral from Walking Dead.
Hope he was fantastic. Like that should be a really difficult role to pull off, and he can't rely on
That
his
guy
looks.
is
But
he
man,
is
he
so
was great.
ugly. He is so ugly handsome. And I mean that in the best sense. Like he is going to work for the rest of his life. He's not a bad looking guy, but he's got this rough, almost ugly handsome.
Yeah,
You know, like his teeth are spaced
yeah.
out a little wide. He's
Yeah,
got kind
it's
of weird,
distinctive.
like he's got crazy eyes and sharp features. He doesn't look
Mm.
anything like Spencer Dutton, who's classically handsome. Yet at the same time, by episode 5, he's starting in his own. And Spencer Dutton is just this malevolent, dangerous guy who has a dark side, who has to get over his PTSD, which I guess he does when he kills a few people at the end of the show. But the bottom line is, like, Spencer Dutton and this character are nothing the same, but they have the same commanding, compelling, not energy, because they have different energy, but the same compelling nature to them, where I really want to know more about Cooper. I really want to know
Yeah.
more about Spencer, well, and Cooper might be the better actor, because Spencer gets to kill a lion and get into a knife fight with people. Cooper mows a lawn. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, hang
Cooper,
on,
in a
hang
subtle
on.
way.
Cooper executes a perfect double leg takedown when he's being beaten up by two Latina gangsters and chokes one of them out.
Yes, he does, and that
Yeah,
goes
like
on to be ongoing problems. That's the thing, though. I think the only reason his grades stayed high and that he did okay in college, because remember, and here's the thing: the show doesn't say, but is implied. And by the way, I want to read Buddy's comment. A Midsummer Night's Dream is the most accessible for beginners. Much Ado About Nothing is good for the insults thrown in between the couple. Macbeth is relatively short, but it's intense. All true.
well
I would
said,
say
buddy.
this though. I did appreciate Comedy of Errors because it was supposed to be fun. And I got the slapstick nature of it. You know what I mean? Like, so if you misunderstood the Shakespeare when you saw the Roger Daltrey movie of it, PBS special, BBC special that the teacher showed us, you got it at least then. Like, the guy really just didn't want you to miss out on Shakespeare. So I think it was really well chosen by a great teacher. Thank you, Jack. I won't say his last
Yeah.
name. He was a good guy, though. I went to Catholic school. I don't know about you. Phantom Boomer's
Oh
here.
no, I
Hello,
did. I
Phantom
taught at the
Boomer.
Catholic school for a bit. But
Did ya?
buddy, I tell you,
Did-
Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah, I taught at the Catholic school for a little bit, but not that long.
you know what?
But Buddy
Go
says
ahead.
Midsummer Night's Dream is such an Midsummer Night's Dream is such an acceptable play. I mean, I know his name is taboo on the internet at the moment, but there's a Neil guy whose name rhymes with Slayman, who I met once, and a famous author
Oh,
who
Neil,
wrote an
Neil
award-winning.
Not Straightman.
Yeah, he
Yeah, so we'll call him
Neil Alternative Lifestyle Man. Yeah, I met him once. Really nice guy. He was nice to meet.
that. Neil
anyway,
Prideman.
Yes, indeed. A nice guy. He signed a book for me. It was very, very pleasant. Great story and writing poems. But he did an adaptation of the play in his comic book, The Sandman, which won tons of awards, and I can buy it. But the play is so accessible. I mean, I've seen it done live at least 3 times and laughed my ass off every time. Like, it's just such an accessible play, you know? It's the genius of Shakespeare. That's why it's still being put on and studied and enjoyed 400 years later. Just like Star Trek TOS. 400 years from now, it'll still be on whatever passes for television or telepathic broadcast or whatever.
The Sensievers from the Star Trek TMP novel. You know what? I just want to say something
that's really
quickly. I just discovered there is a new StreamYard, there's a new YouTube feature that I can use. I can change this stream to members only anytime I want, which means I have another option for future problems. I don't know if they rolled it out for everyone or because I have to talk to them every day before and after my show to tell them, like, things are going to happen. Which I didn't have time to do today. But you know what? Today and like other days, I just every once in a while I want to I want to just I feel good, and like this is not my usual time. And we blew off a show last night so that we could have a more professional show for you next week. Next week, Teague will be real worlding a lot, but I've got the J-Man on Thursday. Do you know the J-Man? He's friends.
I know the J-Man really. I know the J-Man really well. In fact,
you know how much fun
I spent a lot of my youth.
I'm looking forward to it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I've
Go ahead.
streamed with
Tell me.
J-Man I streamed with J-Man a bunch of times
Oh, have you?
about various things. So I've been on J-Man streams. But yeah, we did a series on comic books last year, which was about over 5-6 weeks. We did a series on another comic book for about 4 weeks before that, earlier in the year. I've been on, about every 3 months, I show up on Days of High Adventure, which has now become J-Man's Circle of Iron. So like I'm on the Dread stream, and most recently Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it was the 30th anniversary. And J-Man, by coincidence, so I used to live in Canada when I was younger, and J-Man lives not far at all from where I used to live. So now I know J-Man and Sean quite well. Yeah, so you're on Thursday with J-Man. Well, I'll have to try and make an appearance of some kind. Because gosh, yeah, J-Man's great. He is a great dude and a producer. He helped the Kickstarter for that Deathstalker 4 film, and he's just posted on social media that he went to see there's a cast and crew hosted premiere of it in Toronto. So it's, I mean, not doxing here, but this is Toronto's a big place. But J-Man is from the Toronto area, and he didn't get to meet Daniel Bernhardt, the star, but he did get to meet some of the other people, and he's got his name in there as a credit. So like, subscribe, J-Man, especially if you like comics. J-Man's taste is second to none.
Yeah.
So that was
what I like with
that's a short answer to do I know J-Man?
well, you know what? I will say this. I did enjoy to a great degree his examination of the 1970s Marvel Star Wars comics, but with both the ugly and the good of them. The good being that most of the stories are pretty freaking good. They're better than any movie. That arc from, is it 18 to 22 with Fortune's End Casino, where it's also some gladiatorial games in the central hub and where there's no gravity, and I love that. Hello, Lemon Pie.
Yeah, it's some great art notes. I should say J-Man is the reason I rewatched all of Enterprise, because J-Man's done reviews of the entire series of Enterprise, just short 6-minute reviews. And I listened to all of them, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll check it out." And Enterprise has since become it's really probably my second favorite of all the original Trek series. Really,
wow, same here.
Same
here. You know,
I don't agree,
think it's got. I
I
think it's
don't agree with them on everything, but yeah,
me,
and
think that
I
the
was
closest thing to Captain Kirk is Captain Archer, but they're just different enough that it doesn't feel like a cheap ripoff.
Yeah, Archer, he is different. And what I think we see with Archer, and I hate to say this, but more so than Kirk, is we see Archer's development from this really hopeful, slightly naive explorer into quite a hardened pragmatist. And one of the treats we've got coming in season 4 when we get there is seeing him reflect on the change in his own personality, what he's had to become in order to get the Star Force to plan Iskandar. But what he's had to be gosh, there's a lot of in-jokes in the stream, eh? But what he's had to do, how he's had to change, who he's had to become in order to save the Earth. And that he laments some of those changes. And he does mention the trip a few times, we want to get back to the business of exploring. That's what we're meant to be doing out here. But yeah, because the galaxy is just not a safe place. He's great, Archer. And I was not a Bakula fan. But Archer
He's won
changed
me
my
over
mind.
with Archer. Yeah. You know what it was? It was that Quantum Leap. It was sci-fi, but they didn't go the extra mile for real full polish. There was some holes in it they didn't care about. They're like, Scott Bakula is handsome. Just watch him travel time. He's an American Doctor Who. Just stop asking questions. They don't plug the holes until the show's going for a while, where they kind of try to make it make more sense. I guess they had more money to build it out more. I do know that Miami Vice was scrapped to give the budget to Quantum Leap. So
I tell you, it's got one of the least satisfying finales. I won't tell Luke, but the finale of Quantum Leap. Oh God!
You broke up there, but I think you know what you were saying.
Yeah,
oh boy! Yeah,
sorry, the finale of Quantum Leap.
Yeah, I think he leaps away and we don't know what happens, right? if I'm remembering
Yeah,
it right.
I think
One last leap,
he's the
and
coal mine for most of it. Yeah,
what
he's
would have
coal mine. Bruce
saved.
McGill appears in it.
Oh yeah, you gotta love
God.
that. So he's in Miami Vice too.
Yeah,
Bruce McGill, guys,
well,
was
yeah,
D-Day.
probably the I
You're really garbled right now. I can't believe the Central
sorry.
Non-West is
Yeah,
beating
the
the
internet. Yeah.
Central
Can
Non.
you hear me now?
By the, I can hear you now. By the way, I started a poll like just a couple of minutes ago, and it's already got 4 votes. Guys, we have what's your favorite? What's the better
Nice.
Teagism? We have two terms that I've come up with to keep us out of trouble. Now we can't say the Reich between the second and the fourth. That one will get us in trouble right away. Although I think that was pretty funny. I got Guardians and the Central Non-West. I should have added the second large disagreement. I forgot to
I
put
love
the
the
second
Central
large
Non-West. That's
large
great.
disagreement. Yeah. Well, the central large disagreement, the second large disagreement, or the great large disagreement, which was the first one, right? That Tolkien serves in.
Mm.
Um, you know, one thing I like to do brag about from time to time is Teague is of Irish origin, but because of the way I've altered it and my parents altered it, it is an American name. And you know what? Here is part of the warrior heritage of the Teague name. This is like my grandfather who fought in WW2. He was at Operation Overlord. Can you believe that?
Wow, that is incredibly historic. Yeah,
Now
that's
let me put up
crazy.
a picture of my original teacher. This was my old mentor. This guy taught me how to use a sword.
Oh,
Love
that
this
guy.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Egyptian.
Uh,
Egyptian to be Spanish. He
well, as a
dude,
bit
guy's
of a
another dude.
as a bit of a Spaniard myself, maybe we should put up these this background. What do you think of this one? I'm up here every night at midnight with my
Oh,
claymore.
brilliant.
Yeah, that's only like a 20-minute walk from my house. When I want to go for a long mind
You know, I've
clearing
seen the
walk,
Squid video.
what's that?
I've seen the sub video where you and you
Oh yeah,
rolling down the
I'm up
track.
on this. That's actually from coming. Some of it's from coming to America. When you see the train coming into the station, it's from coming to America too. Because since the last few years, they blocked this sign with another sign from the train station. But these people like are the biggest real estate owners in Queens. The Silver Cup family are like Germans. They're like well-known German folks. The Central Non-West is just destroying Guardians. I can't believe it. Someone said last week, like, what's your contribution to YouTube? I'm like, if I die tomorrow, I'm always going to be the guy who bought the term Guardians to YouTube.
But now you'll be known as the man who coined the term
The
Central
Central
Non-West.
Non-West. The Central Non-West gets you out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Because once you start talking about what's going on there and whose flag should fly where, and that terrible situation, I mean, yeah, we did kind of open up by saying that we have great hopes that this deal will work. There have been previous deals. My problem is not that I don't trust our leader. It's that I've seen some stuff these guys will do in a rather dramatic fashion. And
Yeah, firsthand.
you know, I think the greatest thing Star Trek ever did for me was when I realized that I was a hypocrite if I didn't listen to the fans of the show and go and do every episode of Enterprise, even though I didn't want to. And what happened was I found out that I was stronger than I thought I was, and I was prouder of my city than I realized I wasn't. Guys, tweet out that we're live. This is a surprise show. We're gonna hang out for a while. I don't know. I haven't done this in a bit, so just getting to hang out with the subscribers and going more or less solo. I grabbed RRTNZ out of the ether. We grabbed him with the pattern buffer. He didn't turn his communicator off. I just pulled him out of the blue, and I'm just glad you're all here.
You use the time. If this is Doctor Who, you would have used the time scoop.
You know what I think is the worst is that in Star Trek Discovery, I'm sorry, Star Trek of Enterprise, one of the things that we use and they create a sound effect for it and they just stop using it is the time transporter. Now Daniels shows up, you turn around and you're where you're supposed to be. It's like, oh, come on.
Oh,
Like,
I kind of like that actually. I don't mind that so much. But I mean,
you're
I guess
saying it's
what
more
was
artistic than the time transporter?
Oh, I
Like it
don't know
looks
about
like a
artistic, but
like it makes for better
I,
TV because I
I
think
liked
the
it.
time transporter is better Star Trek, right?
Oh yeah, okay. But the time transporter has the one great moment is when silly. I mean, I know that Shockwave didn't go down that well with some people, and I know that the finale was it season 2 finale. Which finale was it where Silik's
Shockwave's the
trying to cut?
one that
Yeah, that's
fucking
the one.
falls
Yeah,
apart.
yeah. But that moment where Archer comes flying out of the time transporter and drop kicks Silik in the face. I mean, that's a great moment.
Yeah,
Star
it
Trek.
was worth it for that. I'll give it that. I mean, honestly, the first time through the Enterprise episode, The Expanse made me so fucking angry that I don't think I watched or tried to watch again for like 4 or 5 weeks. Like we're
Yeah,
talking like you're looking out the window at the smoke plume. You know what I mean? Like it burned for a year. It burned till Christmas. There was
yeah,
smoke till rising till Christmas. Friends are dying still. You know the vapors, the smoke. The last friend I lost in 9/11 was only 4 or 5 years ago. Now, there are some people out there who cannot help but react to whatever I do, and right now they're typing up a 9/11 like nasty thing to say because they think they're going to hurt me. You're only going to hurt yourself by doing that. Reacting to me all day long is it's unhealthy. Even I don't react to me all day long.
yeah.
But
Hey, great
honestly,
to see you on the toxic stream yesterday. I was saying that earlier today. Terrific,
I
great
had
that
some
you've
fun there.
yeah.
I
He's a crazy man. Tox. Gosh, he's out there, but he's cool.
I think as crazy as he
You have to take
is,
a lot of what he says as humor.
as crazy as he is, I think I floored all of them yesterday. I had a much edgier one than this. I came in there and they're like, "What's your favorite horror movie?" And like the talk was about like movies with subtitles, and I was like, "It's funny you should say that because I just saw this horror movie. It had subtitles, and I could only read American, and these were apparently in French." But the movie was called Downfall, and it was about this guy who wanted to be an architect, and there was a war going on. That was all I was able to gather, and like it was a lot of fun. But one of the other things that happened there was we talked about Matt Damon versus Matt Damon versus Marky Mark, and how like they're different
Well, hang
roles
on.
and.
What are the rules? Is it pistols, swords, or fists?
This was Clips. This
Oh,
was
I totally
Admiralty
misunderstood.
Clip.
Sorry, don't know why I thought of that. I thought you meant they were
No,
gonna have a duel.
no. The question was we were talking about we were talking about movies with Marky Mark, who I only just so much can handle, and this is what happened yesterday. Here we go. Did you ever notice that all the best Marky Mark movies are actually Matt Damon movies where you just thought it was Marky Mark? Green Zone was okay. That was a really strong performance by Mark Wahlberg. It was almost like I was watching a better actor. That movie, that Scorsese movie where they use CGI to have him kill like that shadow of himself, where he's his own rival. That I didn't see that one coming, but I was confused because I couldn't tell which one of him I was supposed to root for.
So basically, Marky Mark and Matt Damon. Matt Damon is Marky Mark without being out of breath.
Who's Matt Damon? Exactly. Yeah. Who the fuck is Marky Mark? He's an underwear model from 1990. Did you ever notice that all the best Marky Mark movies are actually Matt Damon movies where you just thought it was Marky Mark?
I'm going to say that the best Marky Mark movie is a Christian Bale movie. Oh,
I'm sorry, I was muted. Which one?
I was going to say that the best Marky Mark movie is a Christian Bale movie.
Which movie?
The Fighter.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I completely forgot about their co-association, and I knew they were both in that movie. That was so weird that when we were doing the final season of Miami Vice, Melissa Leo, the mother from that, shows up, and she's hot as hell with the strawberry blonde hair and the huge cans, and she's like, "Oh, Crockett." Man. You know what, by the way, talk about bad finales. The finale's good, but we don't get it last. That final Miami Vice episode that just doesn't have any closure.
Yeah,
not their finale, their last episode to. What? It's so weird. This is such a weird conversation. Only Northern English Bastard could bring us to this place where we're talking about Miami Vice 40 years after the fact, but he's dead on. It was a great show, and it shows how cop shows are changing. And at the end, when we're wrapping it up, we're watching these episodes, and it took a lot of research to understand the final season. What happened was the network wanted done with the show, and they wanted the budget for Quantum Leap, right? Like, it was over. The show was over. I think what happened was the Dick Wolf season, where they used the Law and Order writer, was a bit of touching the stove, and it worked out really well for him. But the other writers were not happy with his direction. He leaves to do Law and Order, and they're like, this guy with his gritty cop show where cops don't have a high body count is going to be done in a couple of weeks. We're going to keep on with our high energy, high octane Miami Vice. And so the show kind of takes a step backwards as far as their trigger discipline goes away. They're doing front page news every day in the kind of crimes they're handling. They're dealing out dozens of murders a day, and Lieutenant Castillo's like, "Don't worry about it, Crockett. You don't need to do the paperwork on these 13 bodies in the river." It's like, what the fuck? Kind of police department here, but no wonder he never made Captain Castillo in 5 years. He's like, "You all know how I feel about Sonny," and I was like, Northern English and I both laughed. And I was like, we have no idea how Lieutenant Castillo feels about Crockett, because all he does is tell him that he needs to calm down or things are going to get bad, and he does another crazy thing and he tells him the same thing again. I really don't know how. I feel like maybe Crockett has dirt on Captain Castillo.
Oh, maybe Castillo cut his teeth as a policeman in the same department that Martin Riggs worked for in L.A., because they don't do any paperwork after Carnage either, so I don't know.
You know what it is? He's more into his career as a reserve naval captain. He's thinking about going back to active duty and becoming an admiral.
Yeah, I think he has to do his commander's exam first, doesn't he? Doesn't he have to become a commander?
But I think, you know what? He needs to command one of the older ships, something with hardwired technology. I don't trust him with anything too cutting edge.
An aircraft carrier of some kind, probably.
What I liked about him, what I liked about that character, though, was that, one, he was Cuban, which was fun. And two, his cop experience, the reason why he was the lieutenant was, in Nam, he's CIA, Sonny's a soldier. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a soldier, but CIA and Nam, dangersome guy. Spread this clip around for me if you would be so bold. It's Admiral Teague. You may have heard of him too. Doesn't know who Matt Damon is. It was fun. It'll be really good for my friend Lord Toxic, who needs to really get some visibility if he's going to get those strikes he's looking for from YouTube for the things he likes to say. We're gonna have a little sit down. The talk to him about keeping the video clips under 5 seconds per cut sunk in. The last video was like, that was pretty good. Yeah, all compliant. Yeah. Well, you don't want to take the wind out of your sails by having a non-compliant video be held up for a couple of days and then drops after its 2-day window. That's how you have excellent analysis with 16 views. You know what I mean? You want to do your best, and then you got to take a beating, a beating. You got to take and put some sneaker rubber down all over Reddit and just be ready to be abused a little bit, because those impressions are free. It just costs pride, which is a renewable resource.
Pride is a renewable resource. I love it. That's great. That should be your fleet motto. That's the motto of your fleet. Pride is a renewable resource.
You know what? I should have put like that up your favorite Teagisms. It would have probably been in the lead. Right now, we've got the Central Non-West is really just destroying it. No one likes Guardians. Wow. But there are only 6 people here.
The Central Non-West is destroying it. There's like a Freudian slip if ever there was one.
The Central Non-West.
It's just destroying it. Yes, yes, it is.
Yes, you know it's the price of non-natural. It's the price of non-synthetic fuel in the non-central West that really is and their bottleneck of that place, in the where the ships go through in the central non-west that carry the non-synthetic textile basis stuff. That Landman episode at the base of the windmill where he explains to her our petrocarbon world, and as we look in front of us, as we look in front of us at my petrochemical desk, at my petrochemical mouse, at my petrochemical computer, only my metal boom arm and the metal casing for the outside of my microphone, my fiberboard table, and my wooden guitars show anything that are like only the guitar is mostly petrochemical free.
But they were made with tools though that were either powered by made by petrochemicals or powered by petrochemicals. No, it's a great scene where he educates her, and what I like about that show is that not only does he talk about the particular industry in question in terms of like its necessity, but he also laments that that it's finite, that it's going to run out, and that we're in a really bad state. Like
in a scene that we could call Road Warrior the Prelude, he's like, "Well, don't really matter. In about 30 years, we'll all be out of it, and everyone's going to find everyone till we die anyway," or whatever his time frame is, 80 years, 100 years. Because I think she brings up his children will be fine, but your grandchildren are going to inherit nothing. It's like, I don't fucking care. I'll be dead.
Yeah.
Landman lives his life in a based hangover, doesn't he?
Yeah. She's an interesting character, the lawyer. I'm not a fan because I think her tactics are very counterproductive. Well,
she saved the company a lot of money. You know what? Like those guys, Monty is out there risking it all. Monty came from nothing to play some football for Florida. And you know what? He bought all that land back in, 1991? And like that would make Monty would only have been like about 25. He was a real wildcat speculator. And he probably, my impression is he probably bought it off of Landman. The real Landman is Monty, but it seems like maybe because he's talking about the patch outside of Midland, Texas, where the oil is, as where there's oil, there's tons of it. But if you go to 10 feet away, you might just drill forever and get nothing. And you've got to go horizontal and be crazy. The oil is about as deep as the plot needs it to be.
Now, I watched the entire series. It's like the warp
engines.
Right? And I recall,
as of now,
I've seen the whole series. But the whole series so far, right? Now I don't want to spoil it at all, but Monty's future is uncertain at the end, as I recall.
I am getting the feeling that he's heading that way because there are signs up to hello, Inside Man. Inside Man.
Inside Man.
If you're feeling awake and with it, I created an X group called Cool Redcoats. You're in it. There's a pass there for you if you want to come on and just say hi. I've already sang Heart of Oak, so I can't promise to be that funny today. But if you want to just come by and say hi, cool. But if not, I mean, we will get a day where you can. I'm speaking American. You need to speak. Listen, your English American Creole there that you guys have invented, it's all fallen from the American that we exported back to your country. Remember, before we refined your language, what was going on there? Civil war without end, a British diaspora, a country without an empire, and then, you harbored a favoritism for messing up the spelling of names like Teague, and you got out of your league, and you used all those extra letters, and then we improve your language. We give you cricket as a gift, and, I try to speak English, but, I got to brush up. It's like a Spanish person talking Portuguese. But you know what? Between my British and my Spanish blood, I got a lot of colonizer in me, right? You got to say. Like, they must hate me in Wakanda.
Ireland's not part of Britain, mate. Only Northern Ireland.
Except but that's where the Teags are from.
Great way to get punched by an Irish person.
No. Listen, I am an American. I have both. I have clean British lineage through one ancestor and a lot of Irish lineage through others. I actually have ancestors from London. I have ancestors from some place called Cornwall. I think it's where Tintagel is. It's where Tintagel is, right? So, like, I'm probably I'm related to Mordred or something like that. Like, I'm Cornwall's bastard son. So I'm a Redgrave. I have ancestors from London, Rome, all over Galicia, Donegal, and the North. Because when you're an American of Irish extraction who lives in New York, what happens is Irish people come here, they move to the Irish neighborhood, they marry other Irish people who could never occur in Ireland. In other words, someone from Southern Ireland marrying someone from the North and having children with some of, so like we are unlike the Irish, and we look conspicuously different, even if we're all American Irish people. And I'm not, I'm like about half, but I would just say, I could probably make some amazing pew-pew with the Cuban and Irish DNA, the Northern Irish DNA. Could you imagine the timed pew-pew device I could make?
Indeed. I'm not remotely convinced by that explanation, but I enjoyed it immensely anyway.
Yeah, here. By the way, here's something else. We have a lot of technical issues going on just in the world of StreamYards, and I'll explain it to you like this. I have very expensive software that's supposed to make life easier. Should I freeze? Should my circle start popping? Within a few seconds, I'll realize that. What I have done is I have set up my cell phone so that I can keep people entertained while I reboot my computer if StreamYards decides to freeze me or kick me from my own show. In which case, I would hope everybody pitches in with comments so that RRTNZ can address some while I try to recover. It takes me about 30 seconds to get on the phone and another minute and a half to get back to the computer. So you won't have to do the soft shoe tap dance for too long. But now I have had to develop a backup plan for just StreamYards is shit. It's just shit.
Hey, I think actually, if Inside Man is still here, I think it's worth saying he said a lot of kind things about me, but about the chat in sort of some of these communities.
He was very generous to the community.
He was very effusive with his praise. But thank you, Inside Man. Always great to stream with him as well.
You are very kind to me as well, and I just want to say this. Nothing gets the inspiration to continue the funny riff going more than the genuine laughter of your co-hosts. And the downfall riff, the Matt Damon riff, stuff like that. Guys, I could do that all day. The tough part was turning off the microphone and rolling away and let everyone else do their thing. But I've gotten on top of that too. On my own show, a little more transcendental.
Teague, hang on, Teague.
Gentle. Go ahead.
Hang on. I'm looking at the chat now. I apologize, chat, for not keeping up with you. Trek Reviewer says the drinking song was not from Inner Light. It was from Season 3, Episode 18 of TNG Allegiance. When the aliens kidnapped Picard, says, yeah,
he's right.
You are right, Trek Reviewer. I was just thinking that. Well, I wasn't thinking it, so I usually said it. Well done, Trek Reviewer. Great catch.
I got Picard doppelgangers mixed up. Or is he knocked out in Inner Light? They're like, I don't understand.
Yeah, Inner Light, he's unconscious.
Sick bay.
Hey,
he's in sick bay.
And there's one of the creatures in Allegiance is a big monster with big teeth and it eats people. I don't we ever see that species again, which is kind of weird, really.
It could be a
But
like it could have been holographic or some kind of a way to like mess with their minds because they are in that kind of like Guantanamo Bay esque sort of alien lockup where they're being like messed with. Right? I was in a cold, dark place. Is that the Halloween episode of Trek every year, right? No,
I
it was a
don't know.
table.
I think that's Schisms. I think you're talking about, isn't it?
There's two different
Well,
ones.
it was a night
Schisms is the
terrorist.
one.
And
Those are the
which
two
is the
best
one where,
Halloween ones, in my opinion.
which is the one where they're abducting Riker and the other the
Schisms.
aliens from the dimension. Yeah, they're abducting them and experimenting on them. But Riker has a chemical at the end where he wakes up and then zaps one of the bastards. Which of course
Now,
is very satisfying. Yeah.
Schisms we did last year for Trek or Treat. When I can, on the night before Halloween, as it becomes Halloween on the East Coast, so as Halloween starts in America, at a minute or two before midnight, I start Trek or Treat, and we all watch an episode together. And I don't give a fuck. It's how we celebrate Halloween. The ratings don't matter. I'm not like Halloween's not specifically Star Trek, but some great Halloween Star Trek episodes. My favorite is
Why don't you do
Catchball.
Sub Rosa? Sub Rosa's a ghost story. Why don't you do that one?
We'll do that on. Don't you sometimes wish Gates McFadden had done Prawn? She's so hot. She's so hot.
I'm not going to answer that question. I'm not going to answer that question. She was very pretty. Which Ryan film is she in? Is she in Patriot Games or Clear? No, it's Ann Archer. Isn't she?
She's in
not
Crimson
Clear
Tide.
Present Danger.
Crimson Tide.
Hunt for Red October. Hunt for Red October.
Oh, so that's what it is. Hunt for Red October. I got my submarine movies mixed up. I know what I meant.
Yeah,
you know what's the weirdest thing?
Yeah, I know what you meant.
How come no one's ever clipped this piece of video, which I'm going to clip after the show? There's a scene in Hunt for Red October where Sean Connery and Alec Baldwin are holding guns and they're inside the torpedo tube about to slide out to take on the cook. And Sean Connery puts his hand over Alec Baldwin's gun hand and covers his pistol for a moment and goes, "Be careful with that. Certain things in here don't react very well with bullets." And I can't believe that no one's ever used that to throw shade at Alec Baldwin because it's perfect.
No, well, that's yeah. Yeah, it's too soon. I don't know. I don't know if it's too soon or
It's
not.
honestly, now that there's a successful YouTuber who's got a great show called Alec Baldwin's Trigger Finger, Alec Baldwin's Itchy Finger, who I recommend. I don't think there is really like any real problem. I think it's something that we could see done. And let me see something if I enter the Bumble studio.
The nature of comedy, I suppose. The nature of comedy is it can be offensive, it can push boundaries, and unfortunately, we've come to a strange place in the development of our civilization that's kind of been lost to a large degree.
Hello over on Rumble, where I have just begun the stream. I forgot about it, but I hit the start button. You know what? It's a three-way here. We're on 2 YouTube channels and a Rumble channel. Pinned to the top of the chat above the poll is the other channel, Teags Saves Space Patent. Please, it's called Saving Star Trek, but it's at Space Patent. Join the Space Patent channel. And like now that I've got both Saving Star Trek Admiral Teague and Space Patent locked up, I'm slowly taking over all YouTube branding. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, you're sort of accreting more and more of YouTube Star Trek space. Goodness gracious.
You know what? I have to view it like this. I want to collab. I got to be on Pop Culture Breakdown, and that was really great and a lot of fun.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, there was a while back. Yeah, Doomcock is very kind. What happened was early on, he liked the cut of my Star Trek jib, and I was getting attacked left and right and being called a bad Trek critic. So what happened was when you could still see likes, he followed and then liked the Star Trek things I would say. Then he had me on his show just to acknowledge me, even though they didn't do Star Trek. It was very kind of him. Yeah, Doomcock's really nice. It was really kind
I tell you
of him,
what
and
he should do.
extended the shields. What?
He should lean into the fact that She-Hulk, the terrible MCU She-Hulk series, actually made him one of its chief villains. I think he should lean into that because that's a great badge of honor. That if a show that terrible makes you out to be the bad guy, then clearly you're doing something right.
I would probably like bring more attention to it myself. It's like the man that the man the She-Hulk writers lampoon because they are like the dumbest of writers. But I don't. He's got bigger fish to fry. The last thing I'm going to do is tell a successful Overlord supervillain how to run his channel. And also, like,
Yeah.
I've got Sean is always over there. Like, if I need to get some information of Doomcock, if I really want to, I will. But like Sean, like I think you were listening. He's like, just DM Doomcock, and I was like, one does not simply walk into Xanadu. He's Doomcock. He's got a lot to do. But he just celebrated 8 years, which I got to congratulate him on. And I got to say, you're carving out a niche for all of us. And here's the other thing. You got to be funny. You got to be yourself. I am totally not Doomcock. I have made this clear since day one. There are key doctrinal differences between how we see things. Doomcock thinks that Disney might turn it around and thinks Favreau and Filoni might have a chance. I say that Jon Favreau has produced 35 bad stories in a row. Prove me wrong.
He was, Jon Favreau, I'd have to say, was the worst UFC fighter I've ever seen. He was just terrible. Never got in the ring in the first place.
You know what? Let's just be honest, though. Did he get in the ring? Wait.
Even though there was an episode of Friends with Jon Favreau when he was, what's her name's girlfriend? His Rachel's girlfriend, and he decided he wanted to become the ultimate fighting champion. And
Jon Favreau gets to play Jennifer Aniston's boyfriend. I just went past Jennifer Aniston's college, the only school, higher education she's ever had. LaGuardia University here in Queens. You know what? People say, "Oh, Teague, he's like this loser. He lives in Queens. Like what a jerk, a New Yorker." And I'm just like, Jennifer Aniston grew up like 4 blocks from here. What are you out of your minds? Dina Meyer is from Jackson Heights. There are so many. Like Jennifer Lopez is an unremarkable woman on my day on the subway. Honestly. In my 2 commutes a day, to and from work, Jennifer Aniston, yeah, she's beautiful anywhere. But J-Lo,
no,
not uniquely
what I was going to say was that people would throw shade on Queens because, like New York. I mean, I've only been to New York City once, and I'd heard a lot about it. And I thought, oh yeah, whatever. But it really does live up to and exceed all the hype. When you get there. Like my wife and I went there on a honeymoon after we'd been to Cairo and London, and New York City was, if you took the insanity of Cairo and the buildings of London and then increased both of them, you dial them both up to 11. That's what you get. A little
bit of Amsterdam in here too, because remember who started this town.
Yeah, indeed.
A lot of Dutch stuff around, a lot of Dutch name stuff, a lot of Dutch logic. When I was in the Netherlands, Yep, yeah, I got that too. But when I was in the Netherlands, I was I found it to be very logical. It was the part of Europe that made the most sense to me.
Well, it makes sense to somebody, I guess. No, but I mean,
what I liked about it, everywhere I went reminded me of my life. Queens has got so much. And one thing it has is a bad baseball team, but they'll get better next year. And you know what? I found one of the things is there are some people who have just become fixated on the channel in a bad way, and we're doing everything we can to fight it off. And guys, I would just say I want to thank from the bottom of my heart Anti-Derivative Jill for putting up that, and she said the truth. I don't know why I have to say this. And, that was a manifestation of her frustration. And you know what? She said the right thing.
Lombardi 1969 is here. Lombardi 1969.
My man, it's good to see you. Greetings to you. Inside Man is in the chat asking for English. Buddy's here greeting everybody. Guys, the chat's slowing down a little bit. Give me some emojis or something like that just to give me a little action here. Give me a little chat action. It gives the stream more hype. I'm still trying to figure out how to hype streams. That's a new thing that's shown up. But YouTube now giving me other options here.
Standard option isn't the standard approach to make impossible claims. this stream will cure your renal cancer or something like that. Just make some incredibly outlandish or controversial claims and see how that goes. I've heard that works
If
in
you join
advertising.
this stream, if you're a man, your manliness will be 10% longer. If you're a woman, you'll usually experience weight loss, and your breasts will get larger. It's been rumored. There's no conclusive proof yet. Studies
That's
are
right.
ongoing. What studies are ongoing. Here's what I've done. I've taken 5 hot women and I've had them start watching my show, and I examine their breasts every day, and it seems like they are getting larger. And you know what?
Buddy, yeah,
I'm so
yeah, nice
what did
one.
Buddy say?
Oh, you just make it rain in here. That's right.
Yeah, guys, just
Yeah.
any emojis you can. And you know what? Let me enrich this party a little bit. I think that I can do something to make it a little more fun in here. We can give some more people some emoji power. I get a few of these every month. I tend to not. Oh my gosh, do I have no more left? Hold on, RRTNZ. I have to run over to my other device and open up my phone to see if I can drop some memberships. Do a
Right. I
little tap
promise to
dance.
keep. All right. I promise to keep speaking English while he's away. Like I won't, accidentally in siarad Cymraeg yn hanol y Saesneg. Achos, Cymraeg yw fy mamiaith. Oh, sorry. I said I'd speak English. Anyway, right. I'll tell you a joke. It's a little bit off color,
All
but
right,
I'll tell you anyway.
I'm back, and I've
I just-
populated the chat with some memberships to make up for the
nice.
surprise stream. Yeah, so welcome to the family. Welcome back, DJ Ronnie G. I love you, buddy. Istophobos, one of my wrenches. I love you, Istophobos. You're a great mod. You got to get here a little more often, though. Outlaw Bill, we love you. Outlaw Bill's a great guy. I'll be calling some NFL with him over the weekend. And we got Sci-Fi Mombi is here. And General Teags, Random Adventures, definitely not. Kremlon! It's good to see you. It was great to hang out with Kremlon tonight. Am I talking in tongues? Well, all I can say is, yeah, you know what? He's a master cunning linguist, as Ian Gillian of the Great Deep Purple would say. And I've got a new challenge, RRTNZ. I'm going to try to buy 30 Black Sabbath shirts so that I never have to wear anything but a Black Sabbath shirt. And I'll have I'll have a Stone shirt for when I go to church, because they're not as satanic.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, I think it fits with Catholic, but it fits with Catholic virtue that we would have sympathy for our enemies, and who is a bigger enemy than the devil. But welcome aboard, all the new members. Check out the member streams. Check out the member chat. There was a very defiant member chat. And you know what? We got 14 people here. Who knows how long that'll last? I want to ask you this. Do me a favor. Help me polarize the hall. Give the show a like. Please help me to hold out. This is your channel and your freedom of speech. This channel has been interfered with and attacked over and over for 164 straight weeks.
That doesn't sound good.
It's not good, but you know what? My instincts saved me. I kept reporting it to YouTube. I'm like, they're like,
maybe
you got like
maybe it's a British expression, but if you say someone's been interfered with, in sort of a British context, it's not quite as it's not quite the same thing I think you're trying to say. But anyway,
I was sabotaged. That's what happened to Admiral Teague. Admiral Teague was sabotaged, and like I said, it's very uncommon. Imagine, what it is like for Admiral Teague after these dastardly and costly. This person who, whoever it is, if they are espousing they have no money, I would say that this is proof that you do. You can buy black hat tech from the Chinese Communist Party to use it against an American businessman. You guys want to stake in on the trade war? You guys want to stake in on an American product? This is an American show. And sometimes I'll give... and here's the other thing. I won't tell you how to think. I don't think it's right for me. I'll give you my views if people ask me. I'm not secretive about it, but I will not have a show about how I'm going to instruct you how to think and feel, because I am your Star Trek and media critic. I was a media critic first. Then we lost several mighty Star Trek critics, and a very, very humble and unworthy one had to step up. And I'm not going to tell anybody, RRTNZ, should I tell them I really don't know where Earth is? I just had to give them hope. Listen, it doesn't matter. You know what? It's about the journey. So say we all. You know what, guys? It's about our journey. This channel started out as just a pop culture and media review channel, and in a similar fashion to the way Doomcock was angered by Star Trek Discovery, I figured he had that covered. Star Trek had me angry as shit, but the Rings of Power really bugged me, so I started doing it for that. But the thing is, the Rings of Power imploded on its own. It was so bad. Any thoughts on that great show?
Well, I mean, I've only watched a very small amount of it, and that was enough to know that it was complete garbage. I mean, the Lord of the Rings films are my favorite movies. I was an extra in one of the Hobbit films, and so I'm very fond of Tolkien. I'm not an expert on Tolkien by any means. I've read the Silmarillion, and I haven't finished Unfinished Tales. No pun intended. But
you'll love Unfinished Tales. You'll love Unfinished Tales. Yeah. It is a Silmarillion on steroids. There's no long creation story. It's just Tolkien in his usual style, and all that stuff that you got in the regular stories and in the movies where you're like, what is it from? He's just saying shit outright. Nothing is alluded to. Nothing is go to the appendix. It's just like, Iluvatar, baby, what are you talking about, man?
There's a message from Inside Man that Rachel and someone else trying to get into the stream but have a little bit of trouble. So you might check the link. Let me redo the pass. Let
me send you a pass. Maybe the pass didn't go through, or maybe I sent the wrong one.
Admiral Miskatonic Madman has appeared.
Mistakes. Hey, Miskatonic, here's what I'm doing right now. I'm going right to the
John the Beagle Dad.
I would love to be joined by Rachel and the other amazing redcoats. I don't know. You know what? X is what it is. I'm sending the pass again. What's weird is it appears beautiful. I'm going to follow the other path of the first pass I sent them. And you know what? Here's the thing. When I follow it to it, it brings me to my own StreamYard's dashboards, and it just shows me that I'm live. So this is right off my browser. You can jump in there right now. Sorry I didn't check the chat, Redcoats. Guys, the British are coming, and Rachel too. I think Rachel's American, isn't she?
And John the Beagle Dad is here. He's made a very interesting comment that he just finished the Silmarillion, the Hobbit, and the Fellowship of the Ring. But after reading those, he doesn't like the movies. And I would respond to that, John. As someone who's read those books,
but I disagree.
A bunch
you
of
go
times.
First.
Yeah, same. Well, I love the films, and I'll tell you why. So yes, there are some significant changes. Not as much, some in Fellowship, but in Return of the King, there are some significant changes there, and the order, the Two Towers ends with the choice of Master Samwise. The book does, right? And so I think that Jackson did the best he could to adapt a really challenging bit of source material, and whenever you change a book into a film, to make something cinematic, you have to make. Inside Man would be the expert to talk on this because he knows way more about the industry than I do. But you have to make changes. It's a different medium. It's a different engagement with the audience, and reader compared to a viewer, right? So I think Jackson's changes were as good as they could be. There's some bits that aren't perfect. I still love those movies, and they're my favorite of all time. Because this is the thing. I think they captured the spirit of Tolkien. And Jackson says as much himself. He says, look, we could have put our own ideas and thoughts into these movies, but no, we wanted to stay true to the creator's vision. And I think that's what they do. I mean, I think The Scouring of the Shire should have been in there, but that's just me. I still love those films.
They can still make that. They can make a small film about it. All right. Yeah, we got this working. We got this one working. Hold on a second. Let me bring to my stage for the first time. We have a mix, like a worldwide selection of YouTubers, which means I will probably get kicked from my own stream pretty soon. But please welcome to the bridge of my flagship for the first time. Let's bring on Rachel Piercy Art and Inside Man while I try to get a better configuration so you see everybody's icon. Inside Man, your nipples are showing. Good to see everybody. Hi, Rachel. Your sound's a little rough. Is your USB wire a little out? But it's good to see you. Welcome aboard. So let me see something if I remove you and put you back in because your sound's a little weird. All right. No, it might be you. I don't know. It was good to see you guys over with Luke. Am I supposed to say that? Skywalker. My friend Luke Skywalker. You guys were just on with another YouTuber. It was great. And you were talking really generously about the audience.
Carry on.
And it was really, could you tell my audience that same thing? Because I can't say it quite as well as you did, Inside Man.
Sorry, I didn't understand a word of what you said. Could you speak in English, please?
Neither do I. I can't understand a word he says ever.
All right, mate, here's what I need you to do. When you did the talking thing over on the Northern English Bastard, there's words that you were making at your gob. They were real profound and stuff, So would you not say it again to me audience so they can understand?
Now I can understand you. Now,
pretty good, Keith Richards.
You're really good at speaking. I didn't know that you were multilingual. I mean, all I was saying really was that I think these streams. I think that particularly, I think the generosity of the people that watch these, the generosity of the people giving over their time to watch people like us that are just making complete fools of ourselves. And talking such nonsense all the time. I think it's amazing that people are willing to sit here and listen to us and to watch us and the appreciation I think of their time that we have is boundless really. I love it. I love the interaction. I love seeing the comments and the questions and I think it's fantastic. I mean, and I have to say, you two guys in particular, I know that you're very, very keen on interacting on other people's streams as well. And it's
I'm right there in the chat typing away. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I just, like I said, everybody's just so generous.
You know what? If anything worth doing is worth doing right, I throw myself right into it. We lost Rachel. Maybe she'll be back. Rachel, let's see. If, maybe she switched accounts. Rachel, welcome back. We'll see if we get any audio. That is a consistent StreamYard's problem, and don't feel bad, Rachel. We have had StreamYard's weirdness for about, a year now? It started last August, and it'll be okay for just days at a time. And then what happens is either Microsoft, YouTube, or Streamlabs will make an update. So about every fourth week for 2 more weeks, that's just absolutely batshit.
Yeah. Does anyone want to read Crimlon's chat out? We're going to use the right voice for it, though. That's the one.
There you go. We heard that wonderful laugh. Welcome back, Rachel.
Yeah, does that sound a little bit better?
Oh, we get to hear your beautiful voice now. It's nice to see you. And yeah, these are some of the people I've been making acquaintance with and having a good time hanging out with. And I have really enjoyed the conversations. Luke gives extensive but enjoyable homework. He's like, "Hi, mate, how'd you like to come on my show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do that." He's like, "You just need to watch about 88 episodes of Miami Vice."
Yeah, really.
Just nothing from 1985.
And he's like, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't exactly have the box set, but I think I could track him down in the high seas. I'm fairly good with that. And he's like, yeah, just seasons 2 through 5. It was only 22 at a time, but I have to say, like, I was lucky to get to like 18 episodes per season of those. So I did miss a couple here and there, but man, that has been for all the work, the amount of conversations I've had at work when I've talked to people, I'm just like, I'll make a joke from Miami Vice, and anybody my age reacts to it, and people say things to me like, at my house, that was an event.
Yeah.
My whole family was around the TV. I didn't realize that.
True. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. That's exactly what it was like. It was, a bizarre time. And that's because I suppose in the UK at the time, I think we only had the 4 channels. So we were somewhat restricted to what we were watching.
That's the situation with America too. Until the age of cable, we only had in the New York area, we had 9 or 10 options. You know what I mean? But elsewhere in the country, maybe they had less. Line of Sight plays in. Not every area had an affiliate of what used to be our 3, then 4 major networks. And of course, now, we have the CW. And guys, I think the worst day of my life was when I didn't make it to the CW auction because they sold that for $1. I had $100 on me that day, sir. I could have just bought. I owned Batwoman, bought her back with Ruby Rose. I want Batwoman
Radioactive
back.
here.
Hey, look at that. Radioactive. I think I also sent you a pass if you want to join us. Radioactive was here last night helping us strategize for Landman. I think that maybe more important than the Landman show will be that I think Landman may not be able to be a live interactive show with the stream. I think we have to do our own studio show, almost and maybe we do a live premiere or maybe I just do it as an upload, but the conversations for Landman seem to take off afterwards. It'll have 8 to 10 concurrents, but then you look back and it's 400, 500. They keep piling on. The watch parties for 1923 are now so prohibitively huge that I need to replace every one of them with a video essay before I delete them. Well, you don't want to give up that path to the Taylor Sheridan stuff, so I'm going to wait until I reestablish that through Landman and whatever's coming next. But, the Yellowstone saga, did anyone any Yellowstone fans here? I know RTNZ is.
Oh, I am.
I didn't watch the core show. Did you watch the spin-offs? The 23 and 1883. How did you like them? Which one did you like better, and how did you like them?
Oh, goodness. I liked all of them. I would have liked a different ending to 1823 or 1923. Sorry, but it is what it is. That's just how he likes to end things.
I think he was in trouble. I think he was up. His ass was against the wall. This was my final takeaway. You tell. And by the way, I agree. Let me ask you something. You tell me what you think. In 1923, he realizes that there's going to be a season 2, but he's messed up the pacing a bit. He tries to alter the pacing, and we find out that Alex is boring without Spencer. Spencer is still interesting without Alex, but he does some boring things too that even Spencer can't make interesting. It's like, if I want to see a dejected man who can't get laid sitting around coping with a fucking pizza, I'll take a selfie. Okay. Take a fucking selfie. Hey, the Reverend's here. And John, did I say hi to you? Hello, my friend. I'm sorry if I'm behind. I'm having such a good time with my friends from across the pond. And Rachel, you are one of us, right? You're a Yank.
Oh, of course. Well,
okay.
I'm from the South, so I'll have to accept the general term of Yank.
Do you want to give away a regional, non-doxing, just so people know where you're at? Or no? You don't have to.
I'm just from the South, but not Texas.
There you go.
So there you go.
Right, so not the Southwest, maybe the Southeast, the America part of the South.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I lived in Florida for a while. Does that make me an honorary Southerner?
We'll kind of accept you. We'll accept you.
Okay. So, we were watching Landman, and last night one of our discussions was that there is what we call the based discussion at the wind farm. Everyone know what I'm talking about? Landman seems to work in 3 acts without acknowledging it. They sort of don't do the middle of the streaming show dead thing, where episode 4 and or 5 are a build-up and a letdown, respectively, depending upon the outlook of the guy making it, to try to get you to renew. Taylor Sheridan seems to be pretty evenly paced. So episode 3 comes to an end and episode 4 starts a new act, and they're not quite in the middle of it when you need to renew. You know what I mean? They're 1/3 in. So he's counting on the strength of what he's done. I don't think I've seen a stronger intro or a stronger final act of a 3-episode arc in my time watching streaming, which is still an emerging art form, right? Because these people are a little addicted to, we go 4 and then we build up for 5 so people renew. We have to exist in time of a free promo. What thoughts on his pacing and what's going on with Taylor Sheridan in general?
Well, I have to say that it's probably the best superhero MCU. I mean, Landman is my favorite Marvel superhero.
His power is the power of the based hangover. Is that it? Hey, Radioactive! I want to thank Radioactive. Just really quick, I'm sorry, put that thought on hold. I'm so sorry, but we have some new channel members that I just have to welcome, and I'm over on Space Patton, guys. Space Patton is pinned to the top. Join Space Patton, and also take the poll and try the veal. Also, I want to thank Captain Fandom. Welcome, Captain Fandom Nerd, Bubba Doom, and Carla. Carla is back in, and tell your friends. Tweet out that we have extra memberships, in the ether. So I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
That's right. Yeah, I just I was confused. Really, I just I mean, I read the comics when I was a kid. But I never thought that Taylor Sheridan would make such a mess of this. The guy's not even in it. It's not even real Marvel, is it? It doesn't really tie into any other MCU stuff. So
it's a long
I was
tease.
really disappointed. Yeah.
No, you know what I noticed? There was a shadow on the wind turbine.
Yeah.
Right? Venom.
Ah.
It's Venom. So
Wow.
they're side loading it in. I think at
Yeah,
the end of the
yeah.
season, Landman versus Venom. But that based confrontation. And Rachel, do you have anything you want to say about like the Landman, like the first that initial opening act, beat down by the Sicario, negotiates for the private road, plane crash by third parties, nothing to do with him, dealing with all sorts of stuff. Worst day of his life turns into the worst reenactment of his life, where his family that he wanted to get away from and made him a whiskey-aholic comes back, and he's just trying to survive on like pure cigarettes and pure Michelob Ultra, and he has some weird medical problem we see for 1 second and don't go back to yet.
Oh, God. That first episode is one heck of a roller coaster, isn't it? Just, he can't catch a break. That's the theme of his life. He can't catch a break. From the first scene to the last scene so far, everything that he tries just turns on its head, or he ends up in situations that he has no business being in. Like, the oil business is not this crazy. Like, come on.
It might be that crazy,
Andy Garcia at the end.
I don't know if it's that crazy all the time for everyone, but if you're him, if you're Tommy Norris, that's your life, and it's just like all his poor choices come back to haunt him at once. He's got his trophy ex-wife, who is now a huge liability. I need to make Inside Man tell you some more after the stream. I got some stories for you. We need to know more. You know what? We need to know everything possible. But honestly, Tommy Norris, the based confrontation at the wind farm is the based showdown at the wind farm is what I like to call the end of your introduction to Landman. And there's a conversation, and the writer has an opportunity to score points with 3 different very powerful groups. And what he does is he seems to be building them up, and he starts to evoke just enough emotion out of you where you're like, he's going to go on some hippy dippy, and then he slaps that to pieces. And then he starts to go into another direction, and you're like, all right, he's a Chiron Petrochemical Corporation, and he slaps that apart. And then she's like, what the hell kind of a person are you? This lawyer that he's out there with looking at this crash site where she has no passion or compassion. And Landman, just like, at that point, his based hangover kicks into overdrive, and he's like, every time ever made to call the concrete up here to make these particular windmills and everything that we did, the carbon footprint, all we did was move it around. And it's all because she says green energy. And he's like, he takes this long look at her and he's like, we use alternative energy because we want to ensure nonstop extraction of our product, which generates electricity for 80% of the world. And
you've got to talk slower with less emotion to do your Billy Bob Thornton impression.
Billy Bob he doesn't get that worked up, but the thing is, he's really fucking offensive in his delivery. He's crass. He's pretty mean. And he's got a few crazy things to say. The base confrontation at the windmill could have gone so much worse. Think about this one. If you had made it someone's fantasy, like, imagine like how much fun it could be if taken to the absurd. It's like, as they walk through like waist deep dead birds, and a couple of red shirts are with them and explode from cancer, and he has to scream into her ear. It's like, these wind farms ain't no good.
I want to see that.
If SNL knew what they were doing, that would be a skit that we could all enjoy, but they don't.
I think they have a scene where he walks slowly across the oil field towards the wind farms and sniffs and says, I love the smell of wind farms in the morning. It smells like...
I think it would be funnier if, like, how about this one? Like, they're sitting in the truck and she's talking about the plane crash they came there to investigate, and then we do a Jurassic Park. We look down through the sunroof and we see their their bottles of water in the cup holder, and they're shaking. And she's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, lost the turbine on the wind farm. Needs to be serviced again." And we see like, and like it cuts an eagle in half. You know, but the thing is that, like, the show never gets that cartoonish. Like, his takedown of what it took to get the green energy stuff by James Gunn.
James Gunn's Landman by James Gunn.
When he says things, and I'm not an expert, and I had to train. Here's the things: a couple of my guys, I won't say who, so I can stay out of trouble. A couple of the people on my panel do have expertise, but can't say it without doxing themselves. So without going through a full disclaimer, and YouTube is so risk averse, even Dr. Pimple Popper has like a 4-minute thing that you have to read before you watch or Papa's Hit. So, like, we can't really say like, oh, you know, it's true, it lines up, because there are people out there reporting every word that I say, because I have to wake up every day and set the agenda for a couple of channels, me and the people who live their lives to try to be like me. But the thing is, the confrontation at the wind farm could have gone off the rails as a green energy rant, or off the rails as pure backing of the petrochemical industry, but it was a realistic, pragmatic takedown. And I would just ask around, true or false, from my panel, and if you want to say a few words on this one, I feel that by the end of his based showdown at the wind farm, where he tells her about the green energy, like, the only case to keep it around is maybe the technology catches up, but I don't think so. The petrochemicals, what choice we got? Look at the ends of your shoelaces. Look at the tires on our car. Look at those telephone wires. You know how much actual petrochemical we need to lubricate this goddamn turbine made of, like, you know, hydrocarbon fibers made of petrochemicals? So he's making his point, and like nothing upsets common sense, and we're not experts, but this seems to make common sense. He's like, that concrete pylon needs to go 3/4 as far into the ground as it goes up, and it's 25 feet across. And I'm like, that seems to make sense, because this thing is really huge, and I have seen wind turbines that look about that big. I've seen them. And then he's like, after he takes praises and then like gives the pros and cons in a pretty acceptably neutral way, he gives a little talk that would seem like, I would call it this could be the prequel to Road Warrior. Because it's like, don't really matter because once we run out, everybody's going to kill each other anyhow. True or false, guys? It's the prequel to Road Warrior, the Landman. What do you think? Potential? RTNZ, you go first.
Well, I'm actually going to have to jump out at this moment, which is really sad actually, because it's great to be streaming with Inside Man again, because we've had some really good fun on previous streams. So thank you for your generous comment. Yeah, thank you for your generous comments earlier. And but yeah, I've got to take the dog out, otherwise she's going to go insane. But yeah, thanks for having me on, Teague. Rachel, lovely to meet you. Hello to everyone in the chat. Thanks again for supporting us, for supporting Teague. Radioactive, I see you gifted some memberships there. You're a great man, and I'll catch you all again sometime soon. God bless, and live long and prosper.
Yep.
Thank you, RTNZ. I'll beam you down to Oceania, which is not a continent except on UN maps. All right. It's just us. You know what? Welcome to my cozy, unplanned, and my aspirations for this stream are simply to entertain the audience. But you know what? How about a little thoughts on that one? True or false? It could be the Road Warrior prequel, the way Tommy Norris sort of explains the world of petroleum and oil and the so-called alternative energy that just pushes his berserk button and has him have a little meltdown. Inside Man, true or false?
I would say that's true. I will just add one quick thing though. I've never seen Landman, so but from what you're saying, I would say that that's true.
Nobody's perfect. We'll catch you up to speed on that one. Well, you'll come to regret that. But thank you. That's very flattering of you to say. Rachel Piercy, you've seen the Yellowstone show, so I'm going to assume you checked out Landman because it was probably a little better, right? Episode by episode so far. There's not a lot of Landman yet, though. So I mean, there's room.
There are less filler episodes for sure, and
I don't know if there was. They do filler well. That's the thing. The filler episode would be what? The non-violent drunken arc where the Ali Larder and the daughter stay drunk for like 3 days, and he's like, I don't drink, and they're like, that's your 11th Michelob Ultra, and he's like, Michelob Ultra ain't an alcoholic beverage. And he's like, sir, it's got alcohol, and he's like, I guess you don't want a tip. And that character keeps coming back. I love that guy.
Like, if there is any filler, you're right. It is.
The comedy is good.
It is the ex-wife and the daughter, if there is any filler.
And their comedic skills are high.
Yeah, really. Even when they're like, oh, we're going to go to the nursing home and take out all
my God!
Yeah, take all the residents out to a strip club. Oh, my God.
Yeah, guys, this is like the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in reverse. They volunteer to go to the cuckoo house, and they just take the lunatics with them. These people are insane. Like Tommy Norris had to quit drinking whiskey, but he needs to drink like 15 Michelob Ultras an hour.
And that's just to deal with his wife.
He only needed 9 an hour until she showed up. Then with his daughter around, he has to keep like. What I love is during the daytime when he's nursing his hangover, it's one cigarette after another, and after he smashes his finger off with a pipe wrench, they're like, "You want to take you to the hospital?" He's like, "I want you to give me a cigarette and get me a fucking Dr. Pepper out of the back of my truck in the fucking icebox." And they're just like, "Yeah, all right." And then like they take him to the hospital, and they're like, Landman, sir, you can't leave with a half-attached finger. You know, we need to get a specialist. Like, go fuck yourself. And he pulls out his pocket knife and chops it off. Yeah. And they're like, the doctor's like, what the fuck? So I have this idea. What do you think, Rachel? If it doesn't work out for the regular Landman show, would you watch Landman show that just has him in a regular show running an urgent care with just that pocket knife?
Yes, go ahead, do it. That's the medical drama I want to see. You know.
It's like I like my son has terrible allergies. Like, let me just grab my pocket knife. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Get away from me, you madman! Tommy Norris is the kind of guy who carries his cell phone in his shirt pocket with the camera turned on because he's always doing something shady. And what do you call it? I don't think he walks around armed, but he's probably got like some serious firepower in that truck.
Oh, you know he does. You know he does. This is Texas. Are you kidding? He's not strapped because he doesn't want to pay for the licensing fee. That's my theory.
Would you say there is no context for a British person to understand this guy and that they would find him absolutely compelling?
I think so.
I don't think there's British people like Landman. Let me explain. So Inside Man, there are certain people in this country that have like a stoic kind of outlook to the extreme, especially in Texas. It's a particularly Texas show. And like Rachel, yes or no? Landman is not a person you verbally say hello to. You nod to him to acknowledge him because you don't want to piss him off. If you do have to say words, if you're one of those people who just needs to talk, and which is how he'll put it, you just gonna go, Tommy. You don't say hi. You say his name, and you don't look him in the eye because he's like an attack dog.
Yeah, exactly. I know people like that. Yeah. I know a lot of people that are like that.
Now that's the limits with Tommy. If you've been working with him for 5 years and you've been nice enough to never say anything but that, he'll slowly start to develop some respect for you. And one day, like for no reason, he'll just buy you coffee. But if you thank him, he'll be like, "Why don't you shut the fuck up and drink a coffee?" And if you react any further than that and don't buy him a cup of coffee the next day, well, then you're a piece of shit and he'll hate you. He's real weird. So the next thing I would say is if you manage to do 5 years in the oil fields with him and then you have to kill someone with him for Monty or cover up Monty killing someone for him and then you don't see him for 8 years, you're allowed to say, Tommy, how's things? And that's acceptable, but any more than that, he's going to be like, why don't you shut the fuck up? Correct?
Correct, absolutely. If you haven't buried a body with him, he doesn't even want to acknowledge that you exist.
Or blown someone to pieces with their pistols. Just like shot them so many times it looked like chop meat.
It's like the Ed 209, that level of shooting somebody.
Wow.
That is about how much restraint he has if you make him start shooting, is my opinion.
He just starts blasting.
You should see how he treats people who don't let him go to the bathroom when he wants to. You're going to make me piss myself or do I have to explain it to you, you dumb son of a bitch?
We're getting closer, I think, on the accent.
I'm an American. I can do accents. I just, Billy Bob Thornton. He's playing younger than he is. The best special effect on that show is his wig.
Yeah.
The real clothes that Billy Bob Thornton wears are insane. Have you seen the way Billy Bob dresses?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Like an idiot.
Oh my God.
He's not as bad as Pedro Pascal, though. You can hang out with him a little bit.
Come on, Pedro Pascal looks like he's homeless unless he has something to do.
Pedro Pascal. We wish Pedro Pascal looked thrift store chic. Billy Bob is absolute disaster, as you can see here, guys. He's made the classic mistake of not one but two head coverings, and he's done something that I don't advise. If you look on the left, what's this? This is a master class in how to wear clothes. Rachel's going to validate this. I think Inside Man, you're British, which means that you instinctually have good fashion. You have a fashion gene which exudes fascinium into your blood, and you are able to dish on this. So let's just go left to right here. I'm going to say we got the honest, hardworking guy actor look with kind of like, I do this all day, and I'm a bit of a man of the world, and I'm wearing my jacket because it's more appropriate, and also, hey, it fits my character, so what the hell? And he's not in character, but he's dressed in a way that comports with his character on the left. That's Dale. He's the oil rigger. He does most of the tough work, and that's rigger with a hard R. Okay, he's an oil rigger, and he does the rigging of the oil wells, black gold beneath the surface of the earth. Next to him, Allie Larder. She's dressed a bit of a bimbo, but you know what? That's her character. And you know what? Allie Larder at 50, she's like, you know what? There's a sale on Dale milk. And that's just basically how this character is.
I wish that wasn't true. I wish that wasn't
Being
accurate.
honest, we see her breasts and they're beautiful. Science and nature came together fantastically. She's kept herself in amazing shape. 50-year-old Allie. Oh my gosh, RRTNZ with a $5 New Zealand super chat. We'll read that in just a moment because honestly, this reading of the Billy Bob Thornton fashion faux pas brought to you by RRTNZ, our friend from New Zealand who says, "Gotta run. Thanks, Teague, Inside Man, Rachel, and the amazing chat. Great fun to hang out, live long and prosper. Unless you've deleted your captain frenemy. I've killed. Oh yes, I'll have neither. I have killed my captain and my friend. Okay, so like proceeding from left to right, Allie Larder, while she's showing off all the merchandise, not too terrible. Not a bad dress. Rachel, what do you think of her outfit?
Not bad on her. It looks good on her.
Right,
I've
and it's
seen
perfect for
people
the
try to
premiere
wear
for
those.
this character too, because
Oh,
this character
yeah.
is insane. She's also this is publicity too. She's cognizant. She's doing her job very well, honestly. I feel respected by the way she dressed. And if she had just worn something less sexy, I wouldn't be angry. I'm just saying. I feel like she came here to show us that she could be like the Allie Larder from Heroes we remember many years ago, but she's also this new character, which is. Save the cheerleader, save the world. But she's still playing evil. But this is a different kind of evil, and she's leveled up. I like her in this role, and I think I like her outfit here. So Rachel, you dig it?
Yeah, it suits her. It really does.
Shoes
And
aren't
what
maybe
she's
a
trying
little
to do.
weird choice. The black shoes go with anything, but maybe she's gonna have to walk around all day. She didn't want the most extreme heels.
Yeah, who wants to wear those strappy nonsense shoes? Just something simple. That works.
Now we'll get Inside Man in on this one. Inside Man, what do you think of Allie Larder's outfit?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't wear it.
If you do, you know what? If you get 10,000 subs today, both of us will wear that outfit on a special broadcast at midnight tonight. But sub to Inside Man. But
okay. I think you're right about the shoes. I think they might be. They don't. No. Maybe she's got something wrong with her feet. I think her feet look like pig's trotters. To be honest with you. I think she might have cloven hooves or something.
Brie Larson springs her ugly head.
Oh no!
Or her ugly feet.
No.
Yeah, I think she's got something wrong with her feet.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Feet.
Yeah, she's definitely got cloven hooves there, I think.
All right. You know what? Here we go, though. Like the targets get really rich now, and then they refine, and it's not a big deal. Because the last two people basically are dressed like adults their age. But now we have 17-year-old, 71-year-old man, Billy Bob Thornton. Billy Bob could walk around the neighborhood I grew up with in that outfit, no problem. He seems to be carrying a medieval style pouch of, I'm going to guess, magic mushrooms and Angelina Jolie's fluids. He's got a bunch of hip-hop chains, black on black with a black sports coat, almost saves it. Double thick headwear. This evokes an Axl Rose, I'm a huge douchebag vibe. He's got black shoes, and they're bowling shoes, so I forgive the white laces because they're fun. All right, they're fun. The shoes are fun. I don't get what's going on, but the hat, I don't like. I don't. The Kangol is always a good choice. I just don't know if it's working for him. Black T-shirt. It's safe, but it's wacky. Thoughts on Billy Bob's outfit here, guys?
God.
He took the magic mushrooms before he came out, didn't he?
He does. He really does look like a tramp. He looks like a tramp.
A hobo, so to speak. Yes, he does not look great.
Not that kind of tramp, but...
Sorry.
Yeah, you know what? But two people is divided by a common language. You got to speak American to my audience, except when Gavin's here. There you go.
There's definitely a little bit of crystal meth going on there somewhere. Yeah, he.
At
There's no
least his
way.
fashion guy. Yeah, we don't know about Billy Bob, but whoever put that outfit together, yeah, I question their sobriety. I don't know who put it together. That's the way. See the YouTube euphemisms, how they work.
I think that they've actually said to him, trust me, you're gonna look great.
By the way, I just want to say, with 16 votes, Guardians has caught up to Central Non-West as people's favorite Teague YouTube euphemisms. The Central Non-West has kept me out of so much trouble. And when we were doing 1883, there's a lot of different factions of people who, well, let's just say their blood ran red with American patriotism. You know what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Rachel? And a lot of them were from Cleveland, so I have used the term guardians to describe those individuals.
There
And
you
it has
go.
kept me out of, you know what? It keeps the AI bot off my fucking back, right? It's like, these are an evil bunch of guardians, because there's like so many different bands of guardians, and some of them really are bad assholes. And you're like, these guardians are assholes, but if you said it about the actual group, you're in trouble right away. So the fun thing about YouTube is accepting that they're going to censor us and trying to outthink it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's funny. Blankadoodle-doo was funny. Let's talk more about Billy Bob here. I've had my say. Let's talk about that flair. What's the magic mushrooms in the pouch? She's trying to get Allie Larder high. I guess would be a good goal. And all that hip hop flair. What the hell? And the final insult. And Inside Man, more than anyone else can answer this one, I hope. He has grown a beard, which is fine, but he has dyed that beard brown, which means that he has covered his face, but then covered the covering of his face, which to me is inherently just, I don't want to buy a car from you, sir. Like, that's kind of the vibe he's giving off by covering the covering of his face. Thoughts on his beard and his whole look? Go ahead. Go to town, guys.
Look, I think anybody who dyes their beard, anybody who likes to color their any facial hair, is
Well,
a
lady,
little,
a lady likes to color her hair. That's different.
yeah,
For men.
yeah. I mean, this it's not a great look, and there is something of the kind of meth head about him. I think he just looks like some crazy meth head looking like that. I mean, the fashion. I suppose
It's more his fashion than looking unhealthy.
Yeah.
He dresses like he's hanging out with Axl Rose.
Yeah, look, individually, right? These garments. If you were to take these individual garments and perhaps combine them with something completely different as a different ensemble, I think you're looking at
Like a bowl of soup and a
Yeah.
free ticket to the flop house.
Yeah. Yeah. That-
No. You've done it again. You've lost. He can't breathe.
My goal, it's funny. I don't know if you know this, and I'm not proud. I'm only just so proud of it. It's nice to have on my back of my baseball card of things to do, but one of my dearest friends, I love Sean Carter, is my co-host on Saturday nights when I do Star Trek. We're doing Enterprise right now, but about 4 months ago, we were doing a show, and I was cracking one joke after another, and all of a sudden, we didn't hear from him for a couple of minutes, and all of a sudden, he turned on his camera, and he was all black and blue, and he's like, I just want to say I passed out laughing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's fine. And what was great was you know what? This was the best way to find out. Like, I didn't make someone die laughing. I think that I might have inspired one of my friends who I love, one of my, best YouTube social media buddies, the person, I would go to bat for any day, Sean Carter, that he then started talking to other people and got in shape so that he could laugh for prolonged periods of time without having any problems. Because you know what? Well, that's the training. If you're going to be on my show, you need to sustain laughter and be able to think with very little oxygen to the brain. Because I'm just going to keep them coming. What does Nix have to say here? Better understand Landman is recommended cause of boobs. Duly noted. She's got fantastic, and you know what? The high beams. Whoa! I mean, when she takes off her, we get to see them for extensive periods of time, and so does Landman. I don't know what to say. She's dressed perfect for her character. Billy Bob, Rachel, you got anything to say?
Oh my goodness. What can you say about the look that he's got going on there? He left Arkansas, but he kept the inability to dress himself.
Rachel, this man walks up to you in a bar and says, "Hi, honey, I'd love to buy you a drink. You know what? Tell you what."
Exactly.
Would you? What do you say? What goes through your mind? You're in the airport lounge in Amarillo. You're changing flights to get across Texas. You got to get to Midland to go to the patch. What brings you to Texas, little lady? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I guess incorrectly, sir? In this show, they misgender people. They objectify women. They do everything we fucking love. It's the most based show in the world. I don't know if it ends. This one, I don't care if it ends poorly. It doesn't have to end really good for me to love it, because it is absolutely like the based and insane things he says have me rolling. These are the worst people I can't take my eyes off of. The only good people in town are the coffee lady, Dale, and Nathan. They're the only good people on the show. Maybe Demi Moore. I don't know. But,
I don't know.
Anything left to say about Billy Bob's clothes that we haven't said? I mean, the bag of magic mushrooms, I mean, you might as well. It gives him an excuse.
Yeah,
That's what that is. I don't know what it is.
That explains everything we're looking at. That explains everything we see in that outfit. He has to
Absolutely.
be. I know what happened. He was reaching for the button-down shirt, but he missed. He was reaching for the microdose, and he accidentally took like a whole bunch of caps, and he's like, "Whoa! So I gotta go out and promote Landman. Tell you what." Damn, it's $400 for an Uber because the fucking place is 75 miles away, motherfucker. I better put on my sunglasses. No, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll just go there, freaky. Let me dye my eyebrows and beard first. The fuck? I better wear my lucky vial of blood. Now, then things change very quickly. I think that this is a very elegant and very nice look for Demi Moore. She looks nice. Very flattering. She's still dressing younger than than her age. I think she's 62 now. The thing is, Demi Moore, she has to address her alien status. No, she really does. No, she's from Roswell, New Mexico, and I have questions. Google it. But no, I like her outfit. I think she looks beautiful here. Demi Moore in the show, by the way, this is about as close as the camera ever gets to her. A lot of times, like when she's talking, it's like behind her back and she's slowly nodding. She still has that sultry voice, and she can still really deliver a line with some weight when she's given something to work with. This show gives her more to work with. Inside Man, what do you think of her outfit? And her shoes are appropriate, by the way.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I think she looks great. But it's a shame that we can't get any closer to her, really.
You know what? They film her with a spy satellite, honestly. And not the latest one either. We see
one
her
from
a
the
lot
Star Wars program.
They establish her. Yeah, right. Like one day, aliens might unite our planet. All right, so Demi Moore looks absolutely lovely. At this point, we have to say, like a building or like a building of questionable architecture, she has now gained class by all measures. You can't. There's no more criticizing Demi Moore. Stood the test of time. She's never been in a starring movie that made money, but she's also never given a truly awful performance. She's just been in awful movies a few times. I feel for her more than I dislike her. Best movie, Hunchback of Notre Dame or Striptease?
strip. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, I gotta go strip because you see him twice. My VHS tape might be slightly worn out at that part.
I'm surprised it hasn't snapped in half.
Yeah,
After she-
my DVD is now wafer thin.
I don't. I am not going to go near Bruce Willis to make any jokes about what that could do to your mind when she ripped off her top in real life. We'll just leave that alone and say we love Bruce Willis because that's a real shame. No, you know, seriously, like dementia is a real sad thing, and Bruce Willis was a great star. So we'll just do, you know, if anything, without being a bummer, just take a moment out to acknowledge him. And you know what? If everybody out there give a buck or two to that cause and check it out, run down all charities that you give to. But you know what? There are respectable causes out there that will help people with. He has aphasia, which is a symptom. It means he must he most likely has some kind of other dementia, possibly Alzheimer's, and it's really sad because his work was great. I'm going to miss Bruce Willis's work, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, to say that he was or he is still iconic is, I think, quite an understatement. I think there are very few people that have had the kind of impact that he has had, certainly from, the 80s onwards. I mean, Moonlighting, one of my favorite shows of all time.
Oh my gosh!
I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
You know what? I want to thank Sybil Shepherd for that early lightheaded feeling and tightness in my pajamas. She was fucking hot, and it's like,
oh my god, yeah.
It's like, and I'm thinking like maybe she's too old for me. She's like 30.
Yeah. Did you ever see? There was I think it was 1978 or 1979. She did a version of The Lady Vanishes with Elliot Gould. And she wears the most amazing dress, this white dress, and every now and again she kind of leans over, and you get a few glimpses. It's but she was stunning. She was really, she
Really
was. I think she was
great
married
acting skill too. Honestly,
fantastic. She was married to Peter Bogdanovich, I believe.
That's probably true because he made The Last Picture Show, and that was where she made her
right.
breakthrough. But the
Yeah,
thing with her that I found to be, I like football a lot, right? And sometimes I research football, and I was going to do something on the Rose Bowl parade, and I watched the 1970 Rose Bowl parade, and they're like, "Here's this year's official like grand marshals. It's O.J. Simpson of the nice guy O.J. Simpson of the Buffalo Bills and Miss Teen USA Sybil Shepherd."
Wow.
Yeah, and she's like 16, and you're like, she's recognizable as Sybil Shepherd, and like we're all older than her, and now we're seeing her younger than us, and it's weird because we've only thought about her as being sexy, but then you see her and she's like, all right, she's now 18, I get it, but she's still here as Miss Teen USA. It's a little unnerving, and she's like a perfect replica of the person we saw in Moonlighting, which I mean, God, it only makes sense. It's 12 years later, but. That was a world-changing show. Miss Katonic says, if you want to see more of Dummy Moron, check out The Substance. It's 2/3 of a good film, which implodes at the end. We have to thank her for maybe that and Crimson Tide give us Aragorn Viggo Mortensen, because he nails a good performance in a bad movie with G.I. Jane.
Yeah.
And the first crack in Ridley Scott's foundation, right? Thoughts on G.I. Jane, anybody?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I thought it stank personally. You're right. I think it was the downfall of Ridley Scott. It was the beginning of his downward slide. I mean, the
fact that Viggo Mortensen kept us mildly interested was a major cinematic triumph. It showed he had good, and I think Crimson Tide nailed it, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean. But I think the difference between Ridley Scott and Tony Scott, Tony Scott was really kind of on the ascension, and Ridley Scott was artistically, in a mudslide, and he's just going further and further down. It's a great shame, because we've kind of, we've lost an artist, lost an incredible artist because he started to believe his own bullshit.
Sometimes I wonder about the incredible part because you know what? If we go back and start with the Blade Runner and watch both versions that he originally released, and then talk about the 4 recuts between that and the final cut where he finishes, we could call him the most irresolute, failed, beta-tested movie maker in the history of film, who got us to finance his crowdsourcing final movie where he just was like a tactical retreat and a series of apologies. That is one valid interpretation. Is it a great movie? I enjoy every version of Blade Runner. Some are better than others, obviously. When you have 7 cuts of a fucking movie. I like the narration.
Exactly.
I like some of the narration.
Yeah, you know, that was what I didn't like. That was what
The
I
thing
really
is that
didn't
there's
like.
too much.
Yeah.
You know what's like there's lines I love. Rachel, is there a line of narration that stands out to you?
Oh my goodness. Right off the top of my head, no, and that's part of the problem.
You know what? Here's
It's
the one that
just-
stands out to me that I thought was great, and maybe this was all the narration they needed when he quickly describes what a Blade Runner is and what he has to do, and he's like there's 2 kinds of people, killers and victims, and then again, I'd rather be a killer than a victim. And they could have just left it and never gone back, right? And then the next time you hear from him, it's like, Rachel was different. No inception date. And that was, that could have been all you needed. Like, slight narration, I think. I think it was no narration leaves it vaguely unsatisfying and vaguely unfulfilled. Too much narration. It's like, my boss seems like the kind of guy who had a lot of racial opinions, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's true. I just think it was just too much. One of the things that really annoyed me about Ridley Scott was that he felt the need to create what he considered to be a director's cut of Alien, which I really didn't like. I thought that it
There
really
wasn't that much more to it.
so badly paced. I think we have all these additional scenes that
If we have the phone call to James Cameron to thank for him cutting those scenes, right? Remember he said he collaborated with him? Do you think Cameron was like, what, are you on crack? Call your brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like listening to him for like 40 minutes and just be like, this sounds like the kind of thing your brother could fucking fix in like 2 minutes. He's a good action director. You're lost in this, bro.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
How many times did James Cameron tell him not to overthink it?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Which he does anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
Do you think he doesn't understand irony?
I'm not sure that he does. He's a very mirthless. He's a very mirthless kind of person. I mean, there's nothing particularly fun about him, as you can probably see from his, the
Oh,
expressions.
God,
that
yeah.
he is. He is totally mirthless. And this is somebody who's worked with him twice, so I can attest to him being totally without humor.
Do you
It's
remember
funny
the
how
comedy that he tried to
Landman
make?
got us to this. Him in a comedy? But yeah, it was called...
The Good Year.
It was I thought it was called... what do you call it? What was the name of the Orlando Bloom movie? The movie's okay with all the combat and stuff, but his performance, he's just carved out of wood. It's like we roll a cigar store Indian around with a speaker inside of it. Kingdom of Heaven.
That's it. Yeah.
The comedy was Kingdom of Heaven. Turns out that all the war in the Middle East was just... I said the wrong thing. It turns out that all the big disagreements in the central non-West were just because a few people were bad actors, not because an entire philosophy on either side or both philosophies were committed in the dark ages of humanity before the Renaissance that they might just have been so fucking unreasonable and bloodthirsty that they liked fighting. Oh my God! It just turns out it was only a misunderstanding, right? But there's some great, beautiful visuals. I think Roger Deakins is the cinematographer, right?
Yeah.
He is. Yeah, I think Roger Deakins was. Yeah.
How deeply out in the open are you about your cinematic bona fides? What do you want to tell us about how you would work with Ridley Scott, or do you not want to? It's
you
don't have to.
I could probably tell you after.
All right, no problem.
See?
Yeah.
See?
I think we all have some deep, dark secrets we're going to share and laugh about when we're done. Bilderberg group meeting after the show, kids. That's when the real fun starts. Mike, Doomcock starts in like 20 minutes. I know it's late where you guys are. You got like, say, 10 more minutes to get our audience ready for when the Doomcock chat goes live, and then we'll sign off. What do you think? You want to hang out for like 10 more?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Yeah, you guys sound pretty energetic. Well, Rachel's on American time. The metric time that Inside Man is on, I can't understand. He's been phantom zoned. We had to set up a time. You know what? Being able to go without sleep for long periods of time is a basic requirement of YouTube. If you want to do it, start training now. It's funny how we went down this rabbit hole on Landman, so I think it's only fair that we finish with John Hamm wears a brown suit fantastically. You could question his choice of no socks, but it's long established, 40 years since Miami Vice. No one's going to say boo. He wears that finely tailored, bespoke brown suit and black shirt fantastically. The collar, the pocket square, unnecessary, but it does make the suit pop. He has a reputation for being well-dressed. He plays a well-dressed character in this thing. He showed up appropriate to his character and looking like John Hamm, super handsome and ready to be a commanding and engaging figure. I'm imagining he grabbed a glass of champagne and told great stories after this. He looks really happy. Everyone looks happy to be here, too. Which is not the case on a lot of red carpets. This is the reverse of Madam Web.
I mean, he's gorgeous. He could wear a sack out there and we wouldn't have anything to complain about. But you know what he did? The one thing he did was he grabbed that champagne and complained that he didn't get to be in the shirtless football scene in Top Gun Maverick. That's what he did.
He did complain about that, I'm sure. You know what? I think he's dressed well, too. What do you think of the lack of socks? No big deal 40 years later, right?
Well, let it slide. The
premiere was in Austin. It was in Texas. It's hot. I'll give him a break. And, Demi Moore, if we get lost, we can plot our place in Middle Earth on her dress. But it is nice. It is nice.
Oh, God.
Inside Ben, New York. Ever been there?
I've never been, no.
You've never been. What's it like when
all...
you see these movies that take place in my city? Because, I mean, I've seen movies that take place in your city. Yeah. And I'll tell you that my impression is that every time I see London, I'm seeing Prague, because I am, and it's beautiful, and that's why I went to Prague instead of London on vacation. Tell me what you think about New York.
New York, I mean, obviously most of my knowledge of New York is really from movies. Most of my visual knowledge of New York is from movies. Anything that takes place in New York. Now, I'm a big fan of blaxploitation movies, most of which take place in New York. I'm a big fan of 70s movies, and I love that kind of 70s kind of slightly grimy look of New York during that period. And to me, I think that's when New York had the character. I think, and it's exactly the same with London. London had character during that period as well, but it's been so sanitized and cleaned up. It no longer has that character.
Sir, sir, that was so controversial, sir.
You know what? You're telling it like it is. You know what's funny? I'm from the same exact part of me, him, and 50 Cent are from the same exact zip code in Queens.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Everybody in this town has a name and a stage name and a derisive nickname, and that's how we like to do business. That's like I said. As they say, that's how we roll. Over on the Bumble side, I don't know if anybody's watching, but if you are, I love you and I thank you. I'm trying to monitor the stream. What can I tell you? Bumble, one day they'll get it together over on the Green Band. Have you guys tried broadcasting over there? There is one person watching, and I thank you, and 2 likes. Wow, that's great. Victor Fontaine's over there. I finally picked up Landman Season 1 on Blu-ray, and it was fantastic. I had a lot of fun watching the show. I'm going to try to be on Rumble more, Victor. Remember, with my setup problems and my YouTube shielding problems, I get a lot of time. So I know you're not crazy about YouTube, but when I can't be on Rumble, people, if you join us on YouTube, we miss you in the Star Trek community. You're a real important guy to us. Like, we love your input and we love your positivity. But getting back to everybody else on the other bands, and we are on not one but 2 YouTube channels. I'm trying to build this one up. I have 15 subscribers at the beginning of the stream, and I asked everybody join the stream on the channel on the pin post. It's called Space Patent, and we've gone up to 16 subscribers. All right, we'll get this one up and running in no time. My goal is to be able to run watch parties here and then marathon over to my other channel, and just like have one flow into the other, and also have a fallback position for when the YouTube does whatever strange things YouTube likes to do. When YouTube gets going and they make a judgment, it's just like but it's not that way. Give a fuck, And I hired the best lawyer, and I said to him, sir, why didn't we win? We had the best case, and his report to me was,
Sir, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
I tried. I tried. You know what? What do you think of this picture I took of my city? Kind of cool, right?
No.
That's Prague, isn't it?
No, this is New York City. That is on the
Prague.
left. You will see the Empire State Building.
No, that's
I
Prague.
see what you're doing. No, it's Toronto. You know what it is for New York? You say, that's Toronto.
Oh, yes. Of
That's
course it is.
Toronto.
Yes, sorry. Damn, I missed that one.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, well played.
Yeah.
But let's tell everybody where they can find you and what you do. And do me a favor. I will babble on for a moment and also close out the poll. But while I do that, grab your links, write the names of your channels in front of them, then put the links in my private chat, and I will drop them in the public chat unless my mods get to it first. But right now, what I want to do is I want to check out the poll. See how I like to have like a duality of planning, in case things go wrong. So what is the better Teagism? Central Non-West, 32% wins over the Guardians, 26%. Like streams, see results, 42% of you absolutely wonderful people. All of you are absolutely wonderful people. I hope that you joined my other channel. If you haven't, go over there. Space Patent needs you. It's the Saving Star Trek channel. It's fun. You'll like it. Come, try the veal. It's fun. Saving Star Trek is fun. And you know what? I don't want to go on too much of a rant because regular Patent doesn't like it when I praise. All right. I think what we need to do is, Rachel, tell people about your channel, please.
Oh, my channel that has no content on it yet?
Okay,
That's
guys,
all you need to
mods,
know?
you don't have to look for that one. Yeah, Rachel will be back. She's really, really sweet, and she's a new friend. Inside Man, do you have a channel? I mean,
I do, with no content on it at the moment, which is...
You know what? Let's get Inside Man and Rachel some subscribers now. I'm on this one. Don't worry about it, mods. So here's Inside Man. Inside Man, tell us about the places people can find you and some of the people you stream with. I know you because by third-party association of Critical Drinker recommended Northern English Bastard. At the same time, Lance was in a creative group with me. He and I ended up streaming, and then later on, with Northern English, I have so much fun with you guys. You guys are wild, and I love expanding outside of my circle. My co-host is on Pop Culture Breakdown. We've got America locked down. Like, we're looking to take this act worldwide, baby.
Yeah.
So right there, let me just go highlight that one. Here is Inside Man, and I'm going to go harvest Rachel's channel for the day and time where she decides to go out there and do some content. Rachel, I'm going to try. Make a comment in the chat so I can follow to your channel.
Oh, I can put the link in there. It's just
Thank you. I appreciate it. These two people are awesome. They should have a voice when they want to go on air. And you can catch them with Northern English Bastard a lot, who's recommended on the recommend tab of this channel. He's great. I think if you open up the tab a little wider, you'll see Lance too. I'm not sure Lance is still on there. I change it up every few months. Lance, you got to collaborate with me again if you want to stay on the recommend tab. But hey, that's, you are a busy guy making movies, writing books, and I kind of dug the book. So we see you with Inside Man and Rachel. We see with Outcast Collective, correct?
Outcast Create. Yeah. So both Rachel and I have regularly collaborated with Lance on Outcast Creative, also with Luke, the Northern English bastard. Obviously, Lord of Toxicity, I think is, he's really got it going on now, especially with his Toxic Thursdays on tap, I think it is. Now doing one on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. I've been on recently with Proctophile. I had an interview with him, and had a great stream with Box Office Brawler. Sorry, Box Office Brawler. He was a fantastic guy. Really, really a great panel they had on there. And we were talking about Full Metal Jacket.
I love that movie.
Yeah, do you know, I thought that we were all going to be completely in agreement with each other. But it turned out we weren't. I was kind of the dissenter on that one.
I defend both parts of that movie strongly. I think that it needed to be made the way it was. I think that it was a fantastic interplay between the soldiers, who were very, very real and very believable.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I thought that was really bizarre was later in life. I was adopted. Later in life, I met my father. He was a Vietnam soldier, right?
Yeah.
And he was there during the Tet Offensive. It was crazy shit. And I asked him about Full Metal Jacket, and he's like, "Fuck you, I don't want to talk about that movie." And I was like, "Why?" It's like, "You know what? It's about the Marines. I was in the Army." And I was like, "Well, what movie do you think captures the most?" He's like, "Maybe Hamburger Hill." And I watched Hamburger Hill, and it's a great performance throughout the whole movie. Yeah, sure, Rachel, comment. And I'll just I'll highlight it and comment again, and then there'll be a link. But people should check out this channel. And Hamburger Hill is a good movie, but when he finally talked about Full Metal Jacket, what he said was, "I verify the crazy shit with the chick at the front line with a line of guys to have sex with her." I'm like, "You got on that line?" He's like, "Fuck no. It was absolutely revolting. I would rather have gone into combat than had sex with that woman." And I was really not into going into combat anymore. It was like I'd had enough. I was like, shit. So he was like, the way they portrayed the country in country, very real. And I was like, how was basic training? He was like, I don't know. I wasn't a fucking Marine. We weren't assholes like that. So he couldn't validate that part of the movie, but I think we all know that part of the movie is great.
Yeah.
And is really enjoyable. And hello, Rebel Rose.
That's me.
I guess that, yeah. Go ahead. I mean, I'm not going to tear you apart. Go ahead and tell me why you didn't like it. I want to know.
No, I loved it. I
thought Rachel just said she had problems.
Oh no, I was telling you that's me that commented.
Oh.
Rebel Rose is me.
Oh, okay. I think now I understand. But you know what, brain and brain. You know what is a brain? Especially when you're streaming on your own, like two different of your own channels. Like, what is wrong with me that I need this kind of validation? You can never be too careful. And I know if I put my show out on X and just do the right amount of guidance, I'll have the same people. So with the way things are going, like a second channel, it seems like a pretty good investment in time, and I can do stuff that I don't normally do. And let me grab the channel and pin it for you guys. I want to thank both of you for coming by. Any of your other friends you want to plug? There's that small creator who brought us all together. What's his name again? Will Jordan, I think his name is. He's great guy.
Yeah.
I heard.
Like that.
I hope he goes somewhere.
I've never heard of him. I heard that he's quite good. In actual fact, I will just say he is. In person, he is a very, very nice guy. He really is a very nice guy.
You can tell he's a nice guy. Yeah. I've been in his presence via what do you call it? Video conference a few times. I
Yeah.
have not bothered him. I want him to talk during those fan club meetings. People seem to people seem to want to talk to him and tell him about their lives. And hey, you join the club, you say whatever you want. I'm not criticizing it at all. But like my question, if I could ask him one, if I get the courage to ask him one and not get like too a swoon, I'd just be like, listen, man, I've made it to like about 3,000 subs. And guys, I'm like 4 or 5 away. Join my channel. Get me to 3,000 subs. And if you get me to 23 likes, I'll have as many likes as Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I'm stuck at 19. Not that I don't appreciate that. But I want to thank everyone for coming. And I want to send everyone off to Doomcock. And you know what? Thanks everyone for being here. It's nice to meet our new friends. And guys, you going to come back one of these days?
Absolutely. I don't think there's no question. I mean, listen, I just want to say this before we go, right?
Sure.
Rachel and I, we have had many a conversation after streams, right? As have many, many other people. And I have to say, streaming with you is, I cannot even begin to describe what an absolute hilarious blast it's been. Yesterday when we were on Toxic Stream, I can honestly tell you that I was laughing so much, you made me laugh so much that I found it very, very difficult to breathe.
I have that effect
honestly,
on people.
I was in close to agony. It was hilarious. Just
Somewhere in Canada,
hilarious.
someone is typing out on X, Teague is a vampire. He tries to steal people's breath. It's like cat's paw.
You're an energy vampire.
Winter is coming. Hey, I heard the Canadian national baseball team won a game. Anyway, keep going. You wait long enough, relevance finds you.
But it's honestly, it's such a pleasure. It genuinely, I mean, I've messaged you, a couple of times, after we've streamed previously.
Yeah, I have to send you back some more revealing pictures. But yeah, after this, we all put on our cameras and get naked together. It's like a real romance.
But it's honestly,
Thank you.
it's great. Genuinely, it's great. We've all spoken about you very, very fondly. Believe you me,
What I like to do
with
is
an
just
enormous
use my-
amount of affection as well.
Thank you. I feel the same way. You guys are great. And you know what it is? It's you guys, your conversations are great. You're making great points. And it's just like, there are two settings, silent and profound. And like, I have a third setting, which is riffing, and making a few jokes. And like, I try to only portion it out a little bit because the last thing you want to do is not be taken seriously as a media reviewer. I'm not there just to make jokes, but if there are jokes to be made and we've like been talking very deeply and seriously about plot for 5 minutes, like pretending that you didn't understand what Downfall was about because it's in French and you didn't want to read the subtitles, there's comedy gold to be made. If you can laugh at yourself, you're going to go a lot further in this business.
Yeah.
And once they start, like the warm laughter of my colleagues feeds my laughter, and I'm enjoying these cross collabs. And I have spoken to my panelists warmly about you guys. And you know what? Despite the difference in time, you guys are both invited to sit in as guest panelists on future episodes of Star Trek Enterprise, the flagship show, and any weekday show you want to come by.
Oh, bless
All
your
right.
heart. That's a lovely thing. To say.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
The audience has earned this, so we need to do this. And then we need to move over here so that people can enjoy it. Guys, you earned this. It's Sydney Sweeney. She's our channel spokesmodel, guys. Look at her. She is gorgeous. She's beautiful. She was like brought to us by dirty old men, the Rolling Stones. Thank you, England. They were talking about her in British, but I caught most of it because Keith Richards talks in such colloquialisms that it doesn't make sense in your language either. So you just have to read his.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I'm saying, mate? He stabs the air and with his finger. Used to be with a cigarette, now with his fingers. Lost none of his crazy. He was a curmudgeon at 20. This guy's got 60 years of curmudgeon experience. It's like probably still on heroin. I love Keith Richards, and he was an inspiration on the channel. And what's his name in Pirates?
Oh God, I've no idea.
Captain Teague.
Oh my god, it is.
Oh, I felt like all my life playing guitar, I was living to be like him, and then he showed up to act like me. A crazy admiral with dubious claim to any sort of legitimacy. I want to thank everybody who came by tonight. You waited for your lover. You heard my friends promoting their friends. Tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, we will once again endeavor to save Star Trek. We have an extremely important episode for you. Whether or not Germ will do the show, the pre-show will be posted in the community tab and pinned to the top of my X so that you guys know where to watch the episode, although we watched the episode last week and we didn't get to it. So, analysis of micro-focusing on Star Trek Enterprise with the dearth of good TV today. Guys, do you like Star Trek?
Yeah.
Love Star Trek. Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Where are you on Enterprise? Do you feel it's legitimate Star Trek? It is now, right? How you felt then?
Well, to be honest with you, mine kind of ended with DS9, a little bit of Voyager, but it really sort of ended with DS9. So it was, the original series, Next Gen, DS9, a bit of Voyager. That was.
See, my hierarchy is TOS, ENT, TNG.
Really?
VOY, DS9. I found that this is the first time since the first show they've tried to make the ship a character, and I love the NX-01. I really care about the NX-01. I don't want it to be damaged or hurt. I want it to win. When people make threats or try to fuck with it, I start to hate those characters right away, so they've made me care about the ship a lot. Maybe because Connor Trinneer is such a good actor and I enjoy Trip so much.
Yeah.
I care about Archer. I think that he is the right person to be in command of that ship. I think that Scott Bakula was the perfect person to play Captain Archer. I think that, right? And he has this amazing range of an actor. Maybe he can't play evil well, but we didn't need a guy to play evil. We needed a Boy Scout who was a two-fisted academic as well.
Exactly. That's exactly what you need as a captain of a ship in Star Trek. That's what you need. That's what you need.
Strong.
90%
He's
of the
handsome. He's smart. And you know what I've noticed his captain trait is? Scenes where he's in the seat, they begin with him in the seat and he vaults out of it.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to be in the seat. He's always energetic. I've started to regard Scott Bakula as having an acting style similar to Harrison Ford, where he's very physical. Because you ever noticed Harrison's body, especially in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, you can tell the mocap actor because Harrison Ford is much more physical. And I want to thank everybody for being here. Let me just, I don't have to unpin my message. It's not anything bad for a change. Join Space Patton, and you will be rewarded. Let me tell you something. Space Patton is the fastest growing, and you can get your best analysis there of movies. You know, the Carthaginians, wait, hold on.
The Carthaginians defending the city were attacked by 3 Roman legions. Arab women stripped them of their tunics and their swords and lances. The soldiers lay naked in the sun. 2,000 years ago, I was here. Well, this match will not be postponed.
No, and we won't postpone Sydney Sweeney anymore. Thanks a lot for coming, guys. We love you. Here she is. You know where you love her, but here's Bacon Spock first for 1 second.
Insufficient sensor data.
She was attacked by what appears to be essentially a robot.